What is up? YouTube, Twitch, RSS, iHeartRadio, everybody out there. I'm Blizz81.
Big Red 773.
We are essentially the Chords V Plugs podcast. Welcome back. We're happy to be here. How was everybody's weekend?
Sunny. Sunshiny.
Sunshiny days.
Did you see, what was it, Aaron Carter fight Lamar Odom over the weekend?
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
Crackheads have come a long way from stealing VCRs.
He knocked the shit out of him.
Yeah, bum fights really changed crackheads. Rest in peace, Otis. It's funny, too, because crackheads, they've became better at capitalism than recent college grads.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, they're you know, if we had 90s crackheads today, all the boys would have PS5s by now. You know, it's just not out there. They're I guess they're on TikTok and they're signing big fight deals. Crackheads broke the sports barrier before trans athletes.
Yeah. It was interesting to say the least.
It was terrible, man. That little dude had no business in there, man. It was a sad. Chuck Liddell was the ref too. That was probably the strangest part about it.
It would have been better if Chuck Liddell would have just started knocking people out. Both of them, just blink, blink.
Yeah.
What's up,
and
Sharon?
Plus, like the dumbass headgear they were wearing too. Like I get why Aaron was wearing it, but why did Lamar Odom his big ass had that fucking headgear on? Like he was gonna even get hit.
What's up, Sweet Leaf? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back, everybody.
Thanks for dropping in, everybody.
Got cancel the communist. What up? I don't know how long I can stay, but I'm here for now. Right on.
Welcome Thanks for hopping in, guys.
Eisenhower. Yeah, I don't have the Discord linked yet. I'm not very good at this whole streaming thing so far. So,
well, speaking of the Discord, we've gone ahead and upgraded it a little bit. Added some new features, little bit of a ranking system, and we sort of we figured out a theme for the community to actually run on the Chords V Plugs idea. So basically, so it's not an echo chamber. You know, we're going to try to attract people from all sides and sort of, you know, break it up sort of a little bit into two groups. You know, you have the chords and the plugs, which you can, you know, advance through, you know, interacting. You could fucking level up and unlock different privileges and such on Discord. But we added a bunch more rooms. Basically, if there's anything you're interested in that we're not, you know, we don't have a space for, drop it in the suggestion box.
Yeah, we kind of went through it, made it a little bit more interactive, a little bit more
engaging.
Yeah, try to make it more engaging. We've been pretty active on it so far. So if anybody out there wants to give it a join, I just linked it in the chat for both YouTube and Twitch. And toward the end of the stream here, after we go through the news of the week, we're going to open it up. So if anybody wants to jump on panel and come on and bullshit with us, I'm sure we're going to bring up plenty of shit that you guys don't agree with. So come on the panel and argue with us. Respectfully, of course.
I'm going to go ahead and share the Discord into mine as well.
What's up, Eisenhower? 1953. Welcome to the stream, yo.
How you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. Last time we were on, we were looking forward to some news. There's a little bit more news that we're going to be looking forward to later on tonight. That's starting to come out with Fox. So hopefully that drops at some point during the stream so we can talk about it. Obviously, the G-7 went on this past weekend. I'm sure everybody out there has their own thoughts about that. What else going on? Biden seems to get lost in multiple videos every week. Seems to be a
Oh,
running
wrong
theme.
one. That's not the right list. So I just popped it in there. It's not letting me throw it in there again. Yeah, I made the joke that, I've been calling him President Maury for a while, but he needed his cue cards, and a couple hours ago today, one of his cue cards that he did have for Sunday ended up popping out. It's pretty funny. We'll end up showing that as we go through the news. But yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have a card, a teleprompter, it seems like all the what's it called, man? Them shutting down like the cell phone service and all that might be interfering with his earpiece.
Could be. It looked like he was having some earpiece malfunctions during his speech yesterday. Did you see it at all? Where they they asked him about Putin.
Absolutely, yeah. We're gonna show all of that. I got a bunch of clips of him slipping up all throughout the weekend.
It's gonna drop at 6 p.m. That's when that video is coming out, Sharon. Right on.
The Veritas.
Yeah. 6 p.m. Yeah, we should be here for that. An hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I got the Discord popped in to mine. All right. It was a decent week of the news. Yeah, let's go ahead and start rolling through it.
Right on. All right. I'm going to go AFK for a minute and share the stream in a couple of places. Sure. So go ahead, take it away.
So yeah, we have Trouble in Paradise on the left. The I guess the more progressive leftists are starting to break away from the president. They're starting to show their disdain with who knew that Biden wasn't gonna basically be Bernie. Who'd have thought that a career politician
Biden wasn't gonna just fucking roll over to all the progressive demands this time?
So yeah, we might be seeing the beginning of something more here. Or it's just because, she looked really bad last week over Abuela and she needed to, get her face on something else. Because there's this, and she's also advocating to raise the pay of staffers now.
What did she say here?
I can make it bigger.
She says, this is disappointing to see. First, seeking asylum at any U.S. border is 100% legal method of arrival. Yeah, right. The ports of entry, that's 100% true. Second, the U.S. spent decades contributing to regime change and deep stabilization in Latin America. We can't help set someone's house on fire and then blame them for fleeing.
So she was talking about Kamala Harris, not at the border, but making sending a message, do not come, during a press conference with Guatemalan president. So she's,
Cancel the Communist says that I was told Biden was a commie, though.
He played one on TV.
He definitely played one on TV. I think that the left in general was thinking that just because Kamala Harris voted the most progressive, that she'd be able to pull him most progressive. But it seems to me like Biden selected Kamala Harris just so he could place all of the big things that happen while he's president directly in her lap. You know what I mean? She seems to be
except for trips to Europe, what she really wants, what she really desires.
Was that a shot at Biden because he was going to Europe without her? You think that's
shot at Jill, perhaps?
Yeah.
But yeah.
You think there's some what do you call it, cattiness going on in the WH?
I don't know if anybody watches Disney Plus. I haven't checked anything out on there yet, but I'm wondering if Disney checked with the Norse before making Loki gender fluid. Because if that's cool, I definitely have to pitch my idea based on the Prophet Muhammad. It follows the adventures of Mo, a lesbian, and her exploits through the desert. Maybe Netflix will pick that shit up for me.
Decent idea. Do you think it'll go over? Like 10 years ago, they might be able to here, not overseas, of course. But
supposedly, the FBI discovered the crypto what's called the crypto ransom that was paid to the pipeline hackers.
oh yeah, on their fucking fake on their ghost phones,
Yep.
thinking that they were safe.
Didn't need anybody's help like they did to track down the insurrectionists. Way faster than Pelosi's laptop.
For real. Is Pelosi's laptop still MIA?
They haven't announced that they've gotten it or made an arrest. You'd think they would, especially after they raided the wrong person's house once.
Yeah. And I know we're gonna get into what the Russian premier, Mr. Putin, said about the Capitol shooting later on. But that whole lot of that Capitol stuff hasn't come out yet. It's been slowly coming out.
Yeah, that bracelet plug was very interesting.
Bracelet man? Yeah.
So June 7th, the snowball is picking up. It's still gaining steam, just as Fauci seems to have disappeared. And see nothing from all weekend? The longest it's been since I've seen or heard a word out of his mouth.
I think he might have went on like a Rachel Maddow or something like that.
But here
I don't watch Rachel Maddow, so I didn't catch it, but I think he might have made an appearance or two.
Rare genome sequencing almost certainly proves COVID was deliberately made in Chinese lab before it leaked to the world. The next study makes bombshell claim. Daily Mail reports. A little bit more every couple days, and now, I mean, today, it was last night, Jon Stewart ended up 18 months late, and after, almost everybody started to start lean towards it being plausible. Now we have the celebrity heroes going to come out and start advocating for an investigation, advocating for the truth, and that we're finally not buying it.
Yeah, it's funny that it takes Jon Stewart, one guy putting out his personal understanding of the situation is going to do more to change the narrative than 18 months of doctors giving mixed signals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just this guy. Now, if only he'd come out and say that fucking riots are bad. You know what I mean? We'd be in a much better place.
I did like the way he worded some of it, saying that science may have caused the virus.
That sounds familiar. Hashtag trust the science.
Yep. I did like that part for sure. He's a smart dude. He's definitely be fucking. But
you broke up for me a little bit there, Ed.
No shit. I said he's a smart dude, but he's definitely not right all the time. He's definitely late a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people online I've seen from the little bit I've been reading about it today is that a lot of people see him as one of the people that like fomented the division, made it like team politics. You know what I mean? But I don't know if I agree with that. I've read a lot of people saying that though.
Mm-hmm.
I never really cared about Jon Stewart unless it was like a viral clip. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. What do we have this one here? Yeah, some a bad update from something that we've talked about many times on this show, all throughout the pandemic and the lockdowns. Of basically it's just a great opportunity for all types of fucking crime and shit, and not just but like the mental health fucking problems that were going to fucking pop up, and the domestic abuse, the youth suicide, just the suicide rates in general, and probably the worst part of it, child sex abuse crimes are up 40 to 60% in the past year. Absolutely nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, that was the thing that I sent you. We talked about it a little last week, but I don't think we showed it the actual post. But it's one of those things that we called like a year ago.
Yeah,
live
long
here.
before the election, if you elect this man, he's going to create a pedo renaissance, because pedos flourished under his previous administration. And don't believe me, just watch it happen again. And sickening, absolutely fucking sickening.
We got Cancel the Communist says VP is a shit job, Harris or Pence. Got stuck with hard gigs like the border and COVID. Laugh my ass off.
And to add to that too, an open secret, if you're not following them, definitely follow them on Twitter. But yeah, many convicted pedophiles have spent less time in jail than some of the January 6 people.
Yeah, and an open secret on Twitter. It's definitely a plug account. They like the whole account just exposes Hollywood and their child abuse. Like that's all that account does for the most part. It's kind of wild.
And it's all legit, man. It's receipts, nothing but receipts.
It's funny you say that though, Communist, because it depends on who you talk to, and I'm sure you know this as well as I do, that people say that the president job or the vice president job is just a figurehead, that they don't really do anything. Even like Kamala sitting at the the
her job.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is her job is the tiebreaker, and that's why it's sort of interesting, seeing not just Biden's decline. I don't think many people really expected him to make it 4 years, but what if they do thrust the heiress into the big chair? What's the plan for that tiebreaker?
Whoever she nominates as vice president, I'd imagine. Does it just go up the chain? Would Pelosi then become the vice president, or would she actually nominate somebody? I'm not sure how that works. I'd have to look. Putin is too good at trolling. He is really fucking good at trolling. Did you see when he said that he doesn't really recall the last conversation that him and Biden had together, but I'm sure Biden has a good memory? Like, geez, low blow. Knowing goddamn well Putin remembers every fucking word and has it recorded and transcribed. You know what I mean? But Biden remembers, I'm sure.
So whenever there's a vacancy in the office of the vice president, the president shall nominate a vice president.
You said that comment about the Capitol is near the top on Reddit r conservative. LOL. I don't fuck with Reddit. I don't fuck with any of the chans. I don't fuck with any of that shit.
So, did you hear me?
No, what'd you say?
If she becomes president, she will appoint a vice president.
She will.
So she has her pick. She has her pick.
Hillary Clinton. Could you imagine the heads on the left exploding if Hillary Clinton gets nominated vice president?
Yeah, I think heads everywhere would probably explode.
Who do you guys think it should be? Who do you guys think? Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris
would appoint as vice president in the
Nobody's going to get mad at you. I know you can't butcher her first name or to get, or else you're dubbed a racist, but her last name, we could definitely butcher that, right? We could call her Kamala Harris.
Yeah, definitely Harris. There's a nice meme of that on the Discord. If you guys haven't joined it yet in the meme section. Cancel the Communist says Stewart and Colbert didn't worsen the divide. They just gave one side better talking points, in my opinion. I could agree with that.
I think Colbert might have
Colbert,
been
yeah,
was probably the character was probably better at better than Jon Stewart. It was so much better than the fucking Daily Show, and it's
yeah.
really fucking upsetting
The
to what
conservative
it is
troll
now.
character that he played, I actually enjoyed watching that.
So much, so fucking much.
But I
And
never
his
really
books. I read
they,
his books when I was in college. It was great, fucking
like
great.
all of these talk show hosts, like John Oliver, Colbert Now, any of them. I don't watch any of them. None of it's enjoyable to me at all. It's not even funny. Like if it was funny, I'd watch, but it's just not. Trevor Noah's horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Like even when the commercials come on for the Daily Show now, I change the fucking channel because he's just so fucking cringe.
Little
Like
Mama
I'm
says you got
embarrassed
hit
just looking
100%.
at you.
Cancel the Communist says they don't do anything except to get shafted with the impossible job, so the president doesn't get flack. Been that way since at least HW. Yeah, it seems like every single thing that could be considered a hard job is getting thrown at Kamala Harris, and it doesn't really
Well,
seem like a whole lot's getting done except us
the,
giving
the
money to Nicaragua.
the exception to that would probably be Dick Cheney.
Yeah, well, Dick Cheney was too busy running the Middle East, right, with his private ventures.
Mm-hmm.
See, the communist says VP ascends and then chooses their own VP who needs to be Senate confirmed. Oh, so they need to be Senate confirmed. I didn't know that. Say the VP, new pres was killed in the gap before the new VP was confirmed. Then Pelosi would become president.
Yeah. In Minecraft, they both would have to disappear, and then Pelosi gets it.
Right on though. Cancel the communist. I appreciate you coming through, buddy.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
But Senate confirmed. That makes it different. Would there be a tiebreaker? Would the then sitting president be the tiebreaker still?
No, I don't think so.
You would think that there would be no tiebreaker, so they'd have to pass it.
Yeah, it would have to be
with a majority.
Yep.
I mean, to be clear here, I think this is going to happen probably right around the end of next year, 2022.
Yeah, this is definitely, it's not like talking, about what's going to happen when we get to Mars. This shit's going to happen soon.
Right. We're just prognosticating, though. You know what I mean? I don't have any I hope not. I hope he lives until he's 90. You know what I mean? I don't wish death upon anybody, but all signs seem to be pointing to.
Well, not even like going so far as him dying, but just the cognitive decline and them fucking actually removing his ass.
Oh, you mean 25th? You think they're going to pull it? I mean, it has been in the news. There's been a lot of talk about the 25th in recent.
Yeah.
Sharon
they do seem to like it, and they do know about it. They had, they've had the formula to use it, the plans to fucking use it.
So if no VP, the tiebreaker is Senate pro tempore. So then Patrick Leahy would essentially get 2 votes. You're saying cancel, or does the Senate pro tempore not? Yeah, no, they vote, right? So there is a tiebreaker. That's what you're saying. There would be a tiebreaker no matter what. So they wouldn't need an actual majority. They would just need a tie. Bernie's a pretty interesting idea. Kamala Harris being the voting, the voting record in the fucking Congress is the most progressive.
You honestly think she's gonna pick an old white man? I'm going
she
all
did
in on
her personal
woman
life. I'm just saying.
I'm going all in on woman of color, possibly a lesbian. We're going for the triple minority.
Like Lori Lightfoot. So yeah, he gets his normal vote as a senator from whatever state, and then tie breaks separately as pro tempore. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Anyways, gotta actually run. All right, brother. Take it easy. Cancel. Thanks for coming through, buddy.
Yeah, we'll definitely be revisiting this topic. Probably have some stuff prepared for it next episode, and we'll really go down this rabbit hole of not if, but when
Yeah,
and what.
yeah. We can make some more educated guesses about what we think's going to happen. We seem to be pretty good at that so far.
So, California County cuts COVID-19 death toll by 25% after reevaluation of deaths. Clearly not caused by virus.
What?
Yeah, who knew? Who knew that? I guess we're gonna start figuring out where the flu went,
Is
and
this
we're gonna figure
so?
out. Go ahead.
This would be the counter argument to the people that say, "What do you think they were lying about people dying, bro?" Like, no, people did die for sure. People die, but
You know who died? Probably a lot of cancer patients who couldn't get to their appointments because
yeah,
everything was shut down.
yeah. I heard another argument this week over Twitch. Somebody said that there were certain types of flu that have been eradicated, that have just disappeared over this period of time because of masks.
Shit. I just saw an article over the weekend saying that the flu is back. The flu is miraculously back. It took a year off. And it wasn't like, a mocking article. I don't know if I shared it or not. Pretty sure it was fucking CNN. But yeah, the flu's back, everybody. It
What
might
else
have
we
been
got?
where is the flu? But yeah, I'm like that snowball that we're talking about, that big giant Fauci fucking snowball that's rolling down the hill and it's gonna eventually fucking crush him. I think this is gonna be a fucking huge part of it. Well, we'll see too. We'll see if any of the places like, Illinois and New York, probably not New York. They probably don't want any investigating into what's really at the bottom of those fucking numbers. But yeah, to see, how many people actually died from this fucking virus, how many people just had, the tiniest fucking trace of it, an uninfectable fucking trace of it. And, how many people were just put to their fucking death in, these nursing homes or shit like that, close quartered fucking areas for nothing. For nothing, or just to get the fucking orange man, to make the orange man look really, really bad. And
Oh,
to
man.
turn young white males against him.
Yeah. Yeah, that rolls into a little conversation that we kind of had. It actually rolls back to cancel the communists. This is one of those a conversation that we kind of started having a little brain exercise. We were talking about how Trump gained in minority support but lost in white male support. Like the reason he lost the election was because of white males voting for Biden instead of him. And we were kind of brainstorming the reasons why that could have happened, the most logical explanations, instead of just like, white guilt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't say the symptom of white guilt, but I did say the cause of white guilt. The media brainwashing for sure.
I think for sure the media had a lot to do with it. Just the tilt that's portrayed in the media.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just to me it boils down to this question: like when you think about it, was there an adversarial media in the prior administration, Trump's administration? Like the answer is obviously yes. There was an adversarial media.
They were
And,
fortifying, okay?
yeah, fortification of the media as well. But when you ask yourself, is there an adversarial media in this administration currently? Literally ask yourself that. Is there an adversarial media right now? To me, the answer is clearly no. I mean, there's individual journalists that are adversarial toward the White House right now, but there is no adversarial media. They're asking him what fucking flavor his ice cream is. Could you imagine if fucking Trump, if one day he was just eating ice cream and that's the only question they had was what flavor? You know what I mean? No, it would not happen. It would never happen.
I got leaky old man butt says it wasn't for his policies. I'd say what I think, but big tech bans you. The VF words together.
Where you at? Oh, you got a message on yours?
Yeah.
Let me open a window so I could keep up with yours too, I guess.
But yeah, I mean the other side of that too is like why did he gain so much of the Latin vote? I've seen maps of like especially the areas of Texas of the huge increase in Trump support that he got in border areas, and that has to be a very high area, where Latinos live. So it's not just the people that are there on the ground, but the people that are have families that are actually involved in this. They understand what's coming over the border besides just these refugees, as well as I think the American dream is still alive and that community's heart, so they want to do their part to protect it and make sure that there
Yeah.
is still a fucking America here for everybody to fucking enjoy.
Right. And what it kind of, I mean, it's probably, I should have mentioned it when you had the AOC tweet up, but it kind of does roll back to what she was saying. Like she said that entering through the official ports of entry as an asylum seeker is not illegal. That is 100% correct. And you should do that if you are seeking asylum. You should definitely go to the ports of entry. But the truth of the matter is that out of one district, there's 9 different districts in Texas on the border, right? Border districts. There's 9 different districts. In just one of those districts, they have video evidence. They have recordings of 50,000 illegal border crossings. 50,000 in 1 month, last month alone, in one district out of 9. So you're telling me that those 50,000 people that illegally cross the border don't like take the place, so to speak? You know what I mean? In quotation marks there, take the place of people that are actually going to the fucking ports of entry. You know what I mean? Like literally go to the point of entry. That's the way to do it. Otherwise, your first act on American soil is breaking the law. Like, I don't know how else. I don't know how to be more clear about that issue.
The law, breaking the law. Leaky old man butt says, I mean, Biden literally had no campaign compared to any other candidate to ever run. For sure.
Yeah, he just hid, and it worked. I mean,
Yeah, he didn't
he
have
didn't
it.
have to.
Well, you see why. You see what happens when they put him on fucking camera now.
Right.
It's exactly why.
And there was a major pandemic going on. All he had to do was hide. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
person that he was running against was the one it was placed at his feet. So he had to make all the decisions, and it was inevitably going to lead to him making mistakes in that process. So what better way to capitalize on, impending mistakes than just staying out of the way?
I'm sure his donors, the fortifiers, also, let
Yeah.
him know what was going on behind the scenes.
Right. Adversarial media.
Leaky old man butt says, then you have the stuff that is coming out over the last couple of weeks we aren't allowed to talk about. Shit. Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're getting. Hop into our Discord, the links in the chat, and see what you're talking about there, so you don't break the TOS, and see if we're gonna cover it or not. Otherwise, yeah, we'll try to toe the line and talk about exactly what's going on. Just gonna have to learn the jargon to follow along. So we have a little bit of some funnier news, I guess, to lighten it up a little bit. Late last week, after the AOC, our AOC GoFundMe for Abuela hit the national stage, we made it on Tucker, and Tucker called for giving us the Nobel Peace Prize. I just want to take a bow and congratulate everybody in here for such a great idea that we had. Fuck, I'll go ahead and play it.
And ago, this was the greatest story of the week, and it's only Monday. We may have undersold it. It's only June 7th. We can say this is probably the best story of the month. of June 2021. Here's how it begins. A couple days ago, Sandy Cortez of Westchester complained online that her grandmother in Puerto Rico lives in poverty because of Big Orange. She put up a picture of her grandmother's house. This is her home, she wrote. Trump blocked relief money for Puerto Rico. Well, Matt Walsh, who's often on this show, felt a twinge of empathy. So he set up a fundraiser, a GoFundMe for Sandy Cortez's grandmother.
Did he see
But
mine
neither
getting
one of them
posted all
wanted
over
the
the place?
money.
But it's regardless.
Matt Walsh is the compassionate
Suffer
host of the
Abuela.
Matt Walsh Show and joins us tonight with an update to this poignant tale of aid refused. Matt Walsh, first of all, thank you for doing what Sandy Cortez herself didn't do, which is try to help her abuela, her grandmother. What happened here?
Yeah, and thank you for giving me a chance to talk about my philanthropy, which has been a big passion of mine.
You see that shit?
Week.
Did you hear what he fucking
listen,
did there, man? He's fucking mocking me.
That,
but that's
that her
okay.
mother's been living in or her grandmother
okay.
rather has been living in this dilapidated shack, I guess, for 4 years since the
First
hurricane.
words out of his mouth.
And she's a wealthy single woman who has 2 apartments and a Tesla that she just recently bought. Apparently, she, for whatever reason, refused to help her own grandmother, and so we said, "All right, you know what? We'll get together and we'll raise the money." We raised $100,000 in 10 hours. Okay, we probably could have raised $1 million if they had let the fundraiser continue, but someone, big scare quotes around it, in Abuela's family shut down the fundraiser about 10 hours into it and said that she doesn't want the money. Now, this raises a lot of questions, like, for example, does this mean that Abuela really wasn't in the dire straits as it was presented to us? Or would AOC prefer for her grandmother to live in that state suffering rather than to take money from us? I think either way, it's sort of scandalous, I think, on AOC's part.
Well, it's a little bit weird that it was left to you to help Ocasio-Cortez's grandmother. I mean, I think of you as a kind of, I don't know, caped crusader for good, a white knight in this world. But I mean, shouldn't AOC be a little ashamed of this?
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, look, I've already put my hat in the ring. If anyone wants to nominate me for a Nobel Peace Prize, I will accept it. It doesn't mean anything anyway, so you might as well give it to me. But it is interesting that she would leave her grandmother like that. And you know, the thing is, she said, "Well, I'm focused on the systemic problems, and the government was supposed to solve this problem." Well, it does show that actually you don't have to wait around for the system to solve every problem. Sometimes free individuals can just get together but this is a problem we could have solved, not just for Abuela, but they could have taken the money, fixed the ceiling, bought her some furniture she clearly needs, and then they could have taken the rest of the money and helped the neighbors. They could have helped the whole community with these funds, but they preferred not to do that.
I'm starting to think maybe helping people isn't the.
So it brings up a point that, so, you know, why didn't they just take that money and let, you know, if shit really is as fucking dire as it is, you know, as she claimed down there.
Yeah.
Why didn't they take the money and give it to somebody that could fucking use it? If Abuela was fine, you know, okay, shit, yeah, I was lying about my grandma, but here, I'm going to help somebody with this shit. It's so fucking petty.
I don't know, man. How bad do you think we would have roasted her if they actually took that money? I would have roasted the shit out of her. Personally. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Abuela didn't really need it if it was there. And I'm sure it was just for the repairs for the house. So literally what the pictures were portraying could have been fixed pretty easily. I don't know. It's a kind of a catch-22, isn't it? Damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't.
I had to do it in the browser. That's how I did it. 1 second. I got to post that Discord link again.
Yeah, guys, if anybody's out there listening right now, just feel free to jump in the Discord. We have conversations in there. We try to almost every day. You know what I mean?
But how about it, man? How about the first fucking words out of his mouth? He dropped the fucking philanthropy line. He really likes our shit. He really likes the cut of my jib.
We should get fucking.
I'm flattered, man. I'm very flattered.
Right? We should get contractor fucking
just quick
status. Sharon says, I read her grandmother lives in Florida with AOC's mother. It's probably true. I heard her aunt came out and said that it wasn't her that said that they didn't want the money in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I was trying to get it trending over the weekend. Where's Abuela? Because if she lied about all this, how do we know Abuela's even alive? Yeah, exactly. Hashtag where is Abuela? How do we know she's not fucking sick? How do we know she's safe? Show us Abuela and let us know she's safe, AOC.
Right. At least prove that she's been seen in public since the hurricane.
Like, AOC's just collecting checks. Abuelo's been gone. That Tesla, that was Abuela's relief money.
For real.
So this was actually great, and it's sort of, swept under the rug now since Biden's fumbling, mumbling, bumbling.
Oh, yeah. You got to play this one. It's short. Let's get it.
We put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border.
Which border?
We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, I mentioned it because I know Republicans have certainly come at you on this, but Democratic Congressman Cuellar has a border district has said you and the president come. You need to see this.
Like, her first reaction was to lie. We've been to the border. We've been to the border. And finally, an act of journalism, he busts her ass out, and then she fucking has to snap back and clap back, And
she throws her hands up in front of her. Play it again. She raises her hands up in front of her.
Oh, I just fucked that up, didn't I? No,
Yo, what up, Ricky?
Put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit?
I fucked up the window. Let me reshare it. Redo my screen share. I fucked that up.
What's happening, Ricky? Thanks for showing up, buddy. Good to see you. I'm happy you're here. Thanks for tuning in for at least a little bit until we piss you off. We're just going over the news. How do you like my title? Xi-7? Seems appropriate, doesn't it? I think it's a banger.
There's a lot of news to get through. Fucking scrolling way down here. Much news.
Oh, leaky old man. Leaky old man. Usually what we do is we wait till after we go through the news that we have shared. And then
good.
Once we go through the news, then we open it up to call-ins and panels. You got to reshare so I could have it on my end too, Red.
I know. I'm working on it. All right.
We're actually on StreamYard, so when we open up the panel, I'll throw a link up to join the actual StreamYard's room. We use Discord to bullshit, but we don't stream through Discord because Discord blows up your computer. Ricky says, hold on. Ricky says, no, I grew up in it. There's not much you could say short of anti-Semitism that would piss me off. No, I'm a big fan of Semitism, actually. I like Semitism.
All right, let's run this back.
G7. It's play on words. The G7 and the unanimous anti-Chinese support that seemed to come out of the last day of it. G7. The whole meeting was basically based around.
Yeah, I was calling it. Actually, I was thinking about going with Z. What's it called? Yeah, Z or what's it called 4Z chess. There it was.
Yeah, instead of 4D chess, 4G chess.
Let's run this back.
We put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans
her hands up
to visit the border?
At some point.
Shit!
I guess we're going there.
I think I might have to cut that up.
Just quickly put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans
it might have to be
visit the border?
At some point.
Just look away. Just look away, throw the fucking hands up. What the fuck, Lester?
Come on, Lester.
What the fuck, bro?
We are going to the border. We've been to the border.
Listen to these words. Do not ask me another follow-up question. That's what she's saying
about the border. We've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
Here's the communique.
Cue the Curb Your Enthusiasm fucking music. Straight up fucking lying. Her first reaction is to lie, try to lie your way fucking through it. And now
we have been to the border. Who's we?
And I haven't been to Europe. And
clap back. This is supposed to be, one of the leaders of the fucking free world who, no accountability. And when fucking finally called out for their bullshit, can't fucking address it, nothing intelligent to actually add, just a fucking clapback. Who gives a fuck about Europe? That was everybody's reaction. And then we realized that 2 days later, Biden was flying to Europe with his wife. And it was like, oh, she's mad. She's actually fucking mad. She meant that shit. Like, she's clapping back at everybody there.
All right, on Ricky the Great just shared the actual communication, the Carbis Bay G7 Summit Communique PDF, the actual statement from the G7. We'll go through that when we're done here. Appreciate that, Ricky. I haven't seen it yet.
IRS Chief Commissioner Charles Rettig asks Congress for the authority to regulate crypto.
Oh, would you imagine that?
Yeah, we'll be following that one. We'll definitely be following that one, especially in our finance channel and on the Discord. More explosions, man. There was actually an explosion over this today in a fucking army base. And where the fuck was it? I forgot about it now, South America. But shit's just fucking randomly blowing up fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've had a train derail. So now shit's just blowing up. Fucking boom watch 2021.
Business is booming. Ricky says Kamala did terrible in Guatemala and Mexico. Yeah, didn't she? Wasn't like the communique out of that meeting was send a couple pallets of cash down to Guatemala. That was about it, right? Unmitigated disaster. Yeah, Ricky, right before you got here, we were kind of talking about how the vice president is not just a figurehead position and the tiebreaker, that it seems to be that any administration just places the biggest problems that could take the most flack off of the actual president directly in the vice president's lap. She didn't go with any plan. Well, imagine that.
Well, yeah, neither did he. So this guy, sold all these young white males on this fucking huge, great plan that he fucking had. And
yeah,
now it's, 180 days, give me a break.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, actually, to tie right into our last conversation, to see like a poll now of the white males that voted for Biden that actually gave him the presidency. You know what I mean? Those centrist males that voted for Biden instead of Trump, that voted for Trump last time.
If you get your poll results from the same people that did the the election polls, it's going to tell you that 60% fucking favor these more inflation than what's coming out of the Fed right now.
60% would be a horrible number. You know what I mean? It would have to be like 80-90% of approval rate to be like valuable. You know what I mean? If it was split at this point, like buyer's remorse v doing a good job, it would be catastrophic.
Well, basically, he's doing like 10% better than fucking Trump was. So it's, all the people that,
Yeah, but that's all his overall approval rating, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's probably you could account for, that's probably your what's it called, man? Your ratio right there. Because everybody else is, that did vote for him, most of his fucking votes are, back to sticking their heads in the ground and not giving a fuck about politics. Those are the people that take the polls, that are still taking polls.
I've never got. Has anybody out there in chat? Let me know. Has anybody actually gotten polled for
Not
any
in
of
a
these
long
like
time.
presidential?
I remember picking up the phone at my grandma's house a long time ago. I was young.
Is that still how they do it with landlines?
That was it might be. I don't know. If I don't know the number now, I don't fucking answer the phone. So couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been polled. The only people that I vaguely remember, like when you walk through the mall, you know what I mean? There'd be somebody there with a clipboard, like, hey, you want to take a poll for $5?
I did see them doing the Family Feud polls at the mall once. Who knows?
Yeah,
maybe it was.
Ricky the Great says the inflation thing is a complex cumulative issue and less about monetary policy. Yeah, it's definitely complex cumulative issue, but the the ghostly nature, the invisible forces on the market are like directly related to confidence, I guess you'd say. So, the inflation thing is definitely exacerbated by the administration so far. I might not put it directly in the lap of the administration, but the administration is definitely exacerbating it.
We knew it was going to be bad anyway, coming out of the lockdown, coming out of this,
for sure,
from handicapping the economy. So what has Biden done to help it? Absolutely nothing. He's done only things to, exacerbate it.
Right. And he's only talking about further stressing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Adding taxes and adding further stressors on the economy. It's like, everything's shaky right now. You know what I mean? And I was thinking about this the other day. A lot of the inflation, it kind of has to do with, it all goes back to the coronavirus, like the wood. The wood was a big thing in the conservative circles because plywood went up like fucking 700% or whatever. You know what I mean? But the thing is like the lumber industry scaled back, expecting we're going on lockdown. There's a pandemic. The demand for wood isn't gonna be there. You know what I mean? So we could scale back our operation here. So then when the lockdown gets lifted, basically what they were doing was clearing the warehouses. You know what I mean? Clearing the backstock. So now that's all cleared and they have to start producing again. You know what I'm saying?
Leaky old man butt says when you cut labor, inflation happens.
Of course. I mean, I'm a few credits shy of my economics degree or my economist degree. But I did play one on TV. But yeah, you have to imagine that when you scale back operation and then, the world starts to open back up again, the supply is dwindled, which naturally raises the price. Exactly, little mama, supply and demand, basic.
This is weird. This is like the opposite of what happened after the Black Plague. After the Black Plague, there was an abundance of resources and all this shit, because there was a lot less people around. So it thus spawned the Renaissance. And we are literally in the exact opposite of that. Everybody said, no, fuck that. We're going to shut everything down. Everybody's going to fucking die. Just worried, I guess, about temporary profits as opposed to long-term profits. I don't know. I don't know why would a lumber yard fucking do that? Why would they halt production? Why, unless it's they really, really don't like the guy in charge and you're trying to fucking prove a point.
You got to think at the beginning when the lockdowns first hit, like lumber yards were locked down. They weren't essential. You know what I mean? You couldn't go to Menards when the lockdown was in full force here. You couldn't go to Home Depot. Those stores were donezo. You know what I mean? It was Walmart. That's what was open.
Leaky old man butt says there was many more deaths than this caused, which is why there was no boom. It really wasn't a pandemic. I agree with you. That's exactly sort of what my point is, this wasn't the Black Plague. It wasn't serious at all. one of our points that we've been trying to make all along, like these lockdowns and all this shit is fucking pointless. It's counterproductive, really, because you're just causing so much stress in so many fucking different areas now.
Right. Ricky says high demand for raw goods from people fixing up their houses and construction during lockdowns, and low demand for beef and pork products lead to sector instability. I could agree as far as people fixing up their homes and their, like the private property upgrades, because people were spending so much time at their houses, you know what I mean? But the actual construction during lockdowns, there wasn't a whole lot of new buildings being built.
Yeah, no, like I know people in that field, electricians and people actually building the shit. They were all on the ground.
Yep.
They weren't building shit. At least not in the major cities where they were all locked down.
That's why it's good to be a hoarder. Little Mama says that's why it's good to be a hoarder. Ricky says, I don't think that a month of lockdown is the sole reason for lumber price. No, I don't think sole reason, but I think it had a lot to do with it. I think the sporadic lockdowns, lockdown here for a week and then across, California for a month, different states, different areas, different towns even had different lockdowns. Real estate in the country and suburbs are much less affected. Yeah, and that goes to show you that the real estate market is it's not exactly playing the same game. You know what I mean? Real estate is doing fine. Property values. Sharon's here says, LOL, Little Mama. Yeah, that was a good one, Little Mama. I like that. That's why it's good to be a hoarder. You don't need lumber if you got a garage full of old chairs.
Yep, I got fucking a stack of pallets in the backyard. Build a house. Build a coop.
Oh, you mean real estate development in the country and suburbs? Well, yeah, I could agree with that. I live in the city, though. We're talking, I mean, you have to remember, I'm in Chicago. I'm in the big city. So when I say like commercial development, commercial construction, I'm talking about skyscrapers downtown. You know what I mean? That they're constantly building and knocking down buildings in our city. And that all kind of ground to a halt.
Your mayor is something else, leaky old man, but if we know.
Yeah, trust me. We get it.
Let's see what Biden gets.
Watch out for the cicadas. I just got one. Got me. Watch out for the cicadas.
I didn't get it where something actually hit him, but this was the beginning of the week and is all downhill for Joe.
Yeah. It'd have been hilarious if he had his own Pence moment, but it was like they
just landed on him and just yeah.
Just like a 1 pound fucking insect on his head.
These things, I guess, supposedly grounded Air Force One. There are so many fucking cicadas building up. Was very fucking why, like one of those things where it's like, why do you put that information out there that you that Air Force One is vulnerable, basically, If you want to keep Air Force One on the ground, here's what you do: release a shit ton of crickets.
Oh yeah, the cicadas.
Yeah.
Ricky says, but that's more steel and concrete than lumber, though, right? Well, I mean, it's kind of counterintuitive. I understand why you'd think that because skyscrapers are built of steel and concrete, but you have to remember anything that's concrete needs a wooden form. Any dumpster has to be laid on plywood fucking sheets so it doesn't fuck up the ground underneath it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of lumber used in commercial steel and concrete construction. Obviously not steel, but every single thing that's concrete is poured with a wooden form.
Yeah, rebar, fucking all that.
Yeah.
So here, a story that ended up becoming a big fucking deal. U.S. Treasury Department ended up disclosing tax records of some of the richest people. So ProPublica ended up dropping this article. We fucking shared it. It's on our Discord. And you know, they're going to go at these people like fucking Julian Assange for journalism, for doing their fucking jobs. And
so
you know,
what did they say? Where did they get these? Did they get it from the U.S. Treasury Department or from the IRS?
Well, they're investigating. I'm sure we'll find out what the story is soon. I mean, hope, you know.
Oh, the secret IRS files. What's these? So it is. They are IRS files. Somebody leaked actual IRS information.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's looking like. We'll see. But you know, last week the FBI was trying to subpoena the IP addresses of people who were looking at a certain article that we talked about and shown.
Oh yeah.
Don't be surprised if they're not
confused. I was confused last time when the story actually came up. I was like, wait a minute, what happened? What story were they subpoenaing? Like they were subpoenaing people that looked at a website?
I was lost with it. Looked at a Washington Post article, which was very interesting. Something that we did look at when it was brand fucking new. You know, we talked about it on a couple episodes.
Yeah.
So it's definitely has implications. But yeah, I'm sure they're watching, because I definitely checked out this link a few times.
All right, watch list. Anti-government extremist. It's easy. It's an easy category to fit into these days if you're not paying attention. Sharon says, I learned a lot from that article. Thanks, Red. Ricky said ProPublica did some great work in that article. He said,
for sure.
Bloomberg is going after them with an army of lawyers.
Yeah.
Good old Bloomberg.
No bats were sold in the Wuhan market.
What?
Just in case anybody was is interested. New research said live bats or pangolins weren't sold in Wuhan market.
From Reuters too. I tend to believe the general idea of Reuters reporting.
Yep.
I was trying to explain this the other day. Like when it comes to media, when I say that you can't trust corporate media, you could only trust certain individuals. That doesn't mean like independent media. That means like Adam Housley and Catherine Herridge. You know what I mean? Like Catherine Herridge works for CBS still. So she works for corporate media, but you can trust her reporting in particular. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand that. They think when I say don't trust corporate media, it means, oh, you have to trust Big Red Pill on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Don't trust Big Red Pill either. I don't even know if Big Red Pill is a person.
It seems like approval for the police seems to be picking up.
Is that a good thing? The cop didn't look too worried about it.
I mean, it's like a rock and roll video, right? I mean, this has to be like some, you know, this is like some Blue Line shit, right?
If the cell phone recording of this isn't in a new music video soon, you know what I mean? With a beat. There you go, Red. New idea. We need to drop a Chi-Town beat on this.
Literally.
Go full screen with that. Can you blow that up? This is where we live, people. In case anybody's wondering. Look at him. The cops pointing out the window. It's like it's going down. Oh man, see, I'm not even mad at that. Honestly, I'm not even mad at that. There's no violence. There's nobody getting ran over. There's no knees and necks anywhere. Sometimes I love my city still.
Yeah. There ain't nothing wrong with that. It's fucking great.
If that's not in a fucking music video, somebody is sleeping.
I don't know. We'll have to come up with something. Maybe the Chords V Plugs theme or some shit. I don't know.
We need to find somebody's actual cell phone video, like closer to the car, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, front. Yeah, we need to get the front view. Yeah, that'd been great.
Let's work on that. Anybody out there in chat, if you feel like doing a little bit of digging,
some sleuthing. Oh shit.
Yeah, let's find some more video of that. That's great.
All right.
That might be the funniest thing I've seen all day, Red. I haven't seen that video yet.
Capitol Police Chairman calls for the acting chief to step down after release of the January 6th report. Nothing big, but basically them, just getting rid of the guy that could be subpoenaed, could be, could have some, some shit fall on his head, sort of like Pope Benedict.
Yeah. Yeah, the police union. It's a pretty it's a statement that has some balls if the police union's actually coming out against somebody. Obviously it's, management against the union, but
I think it's going to just be a nothing burger.
Right, little mama? Little mama says the cops are getting a free show. Exactly. That's what we're saying. That's great.
Well. Biden administration tells federal agencies they should not require employees to be vaccinated on the work site.
Well, that's interesting.
It's very interesting.
The Washington Post as well here.
And Biden seemed to be ahead of the curve the whole year on he was wearing masks before anybody else was wearing masks. He was wearing 2 masks like a solid month and a half before science caught up and said that you should be wearing 2 masks. I wonder what else he knows ahead of what's coming out.
Let's see. Maybe Fauci's going to say you have to wear aviators next.
Cuz I know what's called young males are having adverse heart reactions. And
yeah, it's one of them
picking up more and more. I mean, shit, it's early, son. It's early.
What do they call it?
We don't even know. This is just, the people that got the jab. Who knows what rewriting your DNA is going to do to the next generation, or your grandkids. Who knows? So we'll just wait and see.
They're going to GMO your DNA, man. Joey Diaz? What did Joey Diaz have to say?
What did I have? Oh, it's gone. Got deleted. It must have been good.
It was tremendous, whatever it was.
I forgot what it was. It was a couple of days ago. Fucking last week. Oh, yeah. Lockheed Martin send employees through mandatory white male re-education programs, forcing them to deconstruct white male culture and atone for their privilege.
Well, it's private. I mean, private companies can do whatever they want, right?
Yeah. So you want to get a degree, work your way up the corporate ladder, huh?
Moving on up. All you
This was an interesting story by CNN. CNN puts the story out here talking that, Tesla's so valuable. There's growing concerns on Wall Street that Elon Musk does not have a clear successor. Oh, shit. What are y'all about to do to my man?
Right?
What the fuck?
Where's this conversation going? Elon Musk, we need you to declare your heir.
Yeah. Now, before Bezos goes up to fucking space, if preferred. Take out 2 for 1 and just fucking seize them both for the government.
Creepy.
Oh, speaking of that vaccine, Australia, 52-year-old woman found dead after presenting severe form of blood clotting in the brain linked to AstraZeneca.
Australia's media. Is that like a Sky News?
Sure. Insider Papers legit. If you want to fucking Google it, I'm sure you could find that article. Yeah. They've passed the bullshit test every time I've checked something out.
Yeah, I haven't even really been following what these vaccines are what they're saying they're doing now, because I'm not getting it, so I don't have to. You know what I mean?
Has anybody got a problem with her sitting at the fucking, at the president's desk. Like, besides, the jokes of her doing his fucking job aside and writing the bills and shit for him, like, so there's no like national security fucking issues with her sitting there. None.
He forgets he's president. I keep forgetting I'm president, Mike.
Yeah, he said he forgets that he's the president sometimes. I wonder why.
You don't say, Joe.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Sort of like, yeah, I mean, maybe we could attribute his cognitive decline is sort of to what happened to Bruce Jenner living in a house full of crazy bitches.
With all that toxic femininity going on in his life.
maybe that's what's going on. How long is this one? 6 minutes. Matt Gaetz goes head-to-head with FBI Director Christopher Wray over the FBI's awareness of COVID-19 origins.
I kind of want to listen to this. I saw that you posted it, but I didn't listen to it. I was waiting to take it in.
All right, yeah, fuck it.
Mr. Chairman, there has been a cover-up regarding the origins of coronavirus. We see it in the Fauci emails. We see it in the G7's call today to renew an inquiry into those origins. We see it in the Biden administration's efforts to squelch investigation into the origins of the coronavirus. And I want to figure out what side the FBI is on. On April 28th, Dr. Li Mingyan landed at LAX. One of your agents interviewed her at that time. She then traveled to New York. Your agent from Los Angeles followed her to New York and sought an interview on both the 1st of May and the 2nd of May in 2020. The FBI took Dr. Li Mingyan's phone, on which the doctor showed evidence of WeChat communications between herself and the director of the CDC in Beijing, all the way dating back to December of 2019, regarding the Chinese military's involvement in the development of the virus and specific links to the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Director Wray, when did you become aware of your agency's interface with Dr. Yang? When did you review those WeChat messages?
I'm not sure that there's much I can say about any specific investigation. I will say that a couple things. One, as I think you know, and I think the committee knows, I have been very vocal, and I intend to continue to be very vocal about the counterintelligence threat, which takes a wide variety of forms from the People's Republic of China and the Chinese Communist Party. And I think it's one of the most significant threats facing this country.
Is Dr. Yan part of that threat?
Well, again, don't want to speak specifically about any particular investigation. But the second thing I would mention is that
here's why that's important. Yeah. On the first thing, Director A, back in October or in April and May of 2020, we didn't have nearly 600,000 people dead as a result of the coronavirus. On October 14th, 2020, FBI agent Andrew Zitman brought a scientist who was working with the FBI to meet with Dr. Yan in New York on October 14th. They met for nearly 6 hours. Can you tell us anything about that meeting and what it tells us about the origins of this virus? It is simply unacceptable to sit here a year later and say you're not going to tell us whether or not there was information about the origins of the virus when it is so central to the safety and health of our fellow Americans.
I certainly understand the point of the question. Again, I have to be careful not to discuss specific investigations. I will say that in addition to our investigative work, as I think has been recently publicly stated by the DNI, and I think even the president himself, the intelligence community has been looking at this issue. There are differences of view within the intelligence community about the origins of the coronavirus.
I totally understand all that. I'm trying to resolve those differences.
Deeper dive on that subject.
Director A, we are unable to hold the Chinese Communist Party accountable if we throw our hands in the air and say, well, there's differences of opinion. We have to assess whether those differences are similarly rooted in fact. That's why I need the facts from you. Will you provide to this committee any scientific analysis that the FBI has done regarding Dr. Yan's claims, regarding the messages she provided to you, regarding Beijing's knowledge of the origins of this virus, their military's involvement, and even efforts to try to present to the world a fake genome sequence at the beginning of these developments?
I'm happy to see what information we can provide. I will have my staff follow up with yours and see what information we can share on the subject.
You get that if we don't look at that rooted information, we're unable to ascertain what differences of opinion are correct and incorrect. But it's hard to believe that the FBI didn't believe Dr. Yan was credible or significant because she lands on April 28th. Your agent, Dana Murphy, takes her phone that day. I'm holding the receipt from where you got the phone that had the WeChat messages that had very important information regarding Beijing and the Chinese Communist Party. And it's not every day that an FBI agent flies from Los Angeles to New York to follow a Chinese doctor who is a whistleblower and a fact witness. And even if Dr. Yan's technical analysis of the virus is incorrect, the fact that she showed up saying that she wanted to provide information and tell the truth seems significant today. Now, back when Dr. Yan made these pronouncements regarding the Chinese Communist Party, their military involvement, the leak of this virus from the lab, we had a number of people trying to discredit her. Are you able to ascertain whether or not that effort to discredit Dr. Yan is part of the counterintelligence efforts by the Chinese Communist Party?
Again, I want to be careful both about what information we can provide in general,
I can't tell you shit.
Investigation, but also about what form that information would take, because in some cases you may be touching on things that would be classified, and that might require a different format. So I certainly understand why you're asking the questions. Let me commit to you that I will go back with my folks and see what information can be provided and what form it would have to take.
How come he doesn't know?
That would be very
Gentleman's
helpful.
time is, gentleman's time is expired, Mr. Deutsch.
Oh, wait, hold on,
watch
Mr.
the end of
Chairman.
this.
You let
Watch
everybody
the
else
end
go
of
over
this.
for
Gentlemen,
May I be recognized just for unanimous consent?
Gentleman's time is expired,
You're not
Mr.
treating
Deutsch.
everyone equally, Mr. Chairman. You went over by more than
Gentleman's
a minute.
time-
Mr. Johnson went over by 45 seconds.
Gentleman's
and I just
time
want
is
unanimous
expired, Mr. Deutsch. What?
I just want a unanimous consent
Thank you,
request.
Mr. Chairman.
You want a unanimous consent for what?
To get
Okay, I'm sorry.
Pulling teeth just to get done with fucking procedure.
Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record
I
the
want to talk about a
receipt
hostile
from the United
fucking
States
work
Department of
environment.
Justice wherein Dr. Yang's phone was taken by FBI agent Dana Murphy.
Without objection, the gentleman's time is expired, Mr. Deutsch.
Like, yeah, what you were saying though, like about how many more times are we going to see these assholes, especially with the FBI, fucking show up to a fucking hearing with nothing, literally not prepared to answer a single fucking question? How much longer is this going to be fucking allowed, man?
Yeah, we never see the after, you know. He says, I commit to you that I will come back with this information that I can't tell you, but that's never a part of a meeting. You know what I mean? It's never fucking aired to the public.
Yeah, they get a classified drop. Leaky old man butt says, did we see the Fox reporter that got suspended? Yeah, we're waiting for Veritas to drop that. I'm sure we'll have that as it fucking happens.
Yeah, apparently yesterday, it was on yesterday's news. She was reporting on the Texas the power situation in Texas because they didn't prepare for summer, just like they didn't prepare for winter. And she busted out and said that, what was it? Fox Corp has been censoring her.
It was pretty slick how she fucking did it too. Like they cut to this chick for the weather. She does like a little opener and she's like, but first, I've been muzzled and I found this little agency, Project Veritas, like straight went out. Didn't say like I'm leaking something, you know. She handled her business. It was a big FU to the network.
And then today, Veritas leaked the phone call where the HR person called her and said that you're going to be suspended. And then a little bit after that, Project Veritas leaked another communication that was apparently the network telling her to return the equipment that she has. Mm-hmm. So it looks like she's fired.
I'm sure everybody has seen by now the hydroxychloroquine. I can't even fucking pronounce it.
Hydroxychloroquine. Can we even talk about this still? Like, is it still fucking TOS to talk about that certain fucking thing? You know what I mean?
It's all over the what's it called? You know, the mainstream news it's you know, it's a treatment now. I've been seeing it everywhere. So hopefully, I don't know if we can say it or not, but you know, just for the trust the science crowd, you know, I'll remember. You know, this is another one of the hashtag never forgets.
Right. I think I'm almost compelled to throw a disclaimer in here to consult your own doctor. Trust your doctor.
Trust your fuck shit. Do your own research and trust yourself, or find somebody that you trust. Don't just fucking trust them because they're a fucking doctor. Find a smart person that cares about you a little bit.
Yeah, find a trustworthy doctor and then trust him or her or them or they, whatever.
So how about CNN bringing back Tubin, the guy who couldn't even wait to the end of the Zoom meeting with his coworkers to fucking
Tugging
rub
for
one
Tubin.
out. Yeah. Like the lady that's sitting to his right now, you know, she always looks so miserable and so scowling, and, you know, she's always fucking scowling. I could only imagine how hard it is for her to sit there.
Right? His self-confidence has to be fucking shattered. You know what I mean? Anybody worth their salt could find that video online right now. And
I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that probably would go the opposite with that. I'd be flying high. Like,
yeah,
you've seen
me
it.
too, personally. But this guy, look at him.
And he got his job back, especially there. Like, hell, I'd have a shit-eating grin on my face.
You could look at it, that freeze frame that you have right now, just the shame that he lives with.
Yeah.
And you could see on her face the sheer enjoyment she gets out of participating in his fucking demise, right?
Yeah, his public tar and feathering.
Yeah, she loves it. This is the one thing that brings her joy in life on the CNN news desk. This is the only time I've ever heard her almost.
Well, since Orange Man left, for
what
sure.
Does it say though? Jeffrey Tubin, CNN's former chief legal analyst, returns to the network 8 months after exposing himself to New York colleagues during a Zoom meeting.
Only
did you know? But did you know?
Exposing himself though, he didn't just expose himself. He fucking
he was
grabbed
yanking
that
motherfucker. He's tubing it. He was tubing, baby.
He was tubing it.
But the worst thing about this whole story is it says that he was off for 8 months, right? But the thing that they don't tell you is that he was off paid for 8 months.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Mr. Wombat says in my
Hey, everybody.
Nick voice, "Hey, everybody." Wombat. What's up, Swamp Fox? Thanks for coming through, buddy.
Welcome, everybody that's just hopping in. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Welcome back, Mr. Wombat. Good to see you as always, my man. But yeah, he was off paid for 8 months for wanking it online, bro. Like, could you imagine? Even like Rick Santorum, you know what I mean? They fired him for just talking about Native Americans and American culture on live TV. This guy didn't get fired. He got paid vacation for 8 months where he didn't have to go to work. And I'm sure he was fucking pretty well paid being the chief legal analyst. That doesn't tell you how different sides of this culture war get treated in times of fucking, upheaval. I don't know what would go farther.
Speaking of culture war, it's a good segue. I had to share this meme because it's just for the people that don't know and the people that really do believe in their politics.
I saw this. You posted this meme in Discord, and it kind of made my eyes open a little wider when I was reading it. It's a good one.
Burger King and Popeyes having a chicken sandwich war while being owned by the same parent company is the greatest real-life analogy for our modern American political parties. Amen.
Amen. Just take that in. We'll give you a minute.
Yep.
Mr. Wombat says, McDonald's gone give Tubin his own meal and make a new slogan. I'm tubing it. Right? They're going to start selling hot dogs. Fucking finger foods, those little party weenies.
This is pretty cool. This is inside of one of Elon Musk's boring tunnels. He fucking literally made Rainbow Road. I don't know if anybody fucked with Mario Kart. I don't know. Probably
is he only doing 30 miles per hour, really?
I think it's on the track, man. I don't know if you actually if you drive through it or not. I think there's
they're not showing it. They're not showing like hit a turn. He's got his hands on the wheel, but
yeah, I don't know, but it's pretty cool.
It's kind of crazy that he's building this tunnel for only Tesla owners. Like, you have to have a Tesla to use this super highway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of wild. It is cool though. The Rainbow Tunnel is pretty dope.
Another one, CDC is planning on June 10th, planning emergency meeting on the rare heart inflammation. This was in the young males too, right? The group that they're pushing so hard to get fucking vaccinated right now.
Oh, so they're saying it's the Pfizer and the Moderna. It's two different vaccines, not just the one. I thought it was just the Pfizer.
It's developing.
Very interesting.
People are catching up. Candace Owens went out, has to cancel the CDC platform. Basically, she's talking about the Tuskegee experiment.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Finally coming into the light. That was, pushed off into the fringe conspiracy theory. Fucking, you talked about that. You're basically, crazy.
What's wrong with Moderna? Swamp Fox says, what's wrong with Moderna? From the reports that I've been reading right there, the ones that he just showed, is that Pfizer and Moderna have been linked to, what's it called? Myocarditis?
Yeah, like heart inflammation.
Yeah, and inflammation of the heart. And it's a really small sample size and a really small group of people that's affected. But I don't quote me here, but I think it's like 22 to 35-year-old men or something like that, maybe 45-year-old men. But they've both vaccines have had this side effects pop up recently. All right, where are we at now?
Poso's commenting on.
I think I missed the Cerno one.
Oh, Cerno's bad take of the week. Telling Elon to apologize to Bitcoin. All right, buddy. It's all right. We all get off track.
That's my age group. Is it permanent? We'll link an article. We'll link that article that Red had in the Twitter, in the Discord. Yeah. You could look through it if you want to, Swamp. Did you? Oh, he said, well, shit, I got Moderna. That's my age group. Is it permanent?
Yeah, they're studying it right now. Nothing really. There's nothing really factual right now. They're
they said that they planned an emergency meeting. And what day was this? On the 10th?
Yeah.
So that they're planning to have a meeting to talk about it. Apparently, it's a super small, like a 2% or something like that, maybe even less.
But just something to be aware of. Yeah, if you start feeling a little bit funny in your fucking chest, do not hesitate to go get checked out and tell the doctor
Swamp Fox says, I've been tired as fuck since the vaccine. Have no energy.
Well, hopefully it's nothing. But yeah, man, go ask these questions at a fucking hospital and have them look.
The only advice that I think it would even be responsible to give, brother, is go see your doctor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully everything's fine, man.
Could just be the depression.
Yeah.
It could be. Very well could be. What's up, Swamp? Why are you so depressed, buddy? You seem so happy and full of life when I see you streaming, singing songs and having fun. He said, I'm gonna bring my ass in, he said.
What's there to be depressed about, man? You can rest assured that it truly is the best time to be alive.
It's still every day,
every moment,
the best day to be alive, bro.
Yep.
That's how depressed people look. He said, I don't know, military broke my brain. Yeah, you were in some shit, huh? We should just Swamp. Would you be interested in coming on sometime and like just talking about some shit that that you've been through that you're able to talk about? I never served in the military. I I just never did. And I kind of feel, sometimes I feel guilty that I never did. You know what I mean? Robin Williams looks pretty happy too. Yeah, no, I didn't see that shit coming with Robin Williams.
My parents served. My mom and dad actually met in the military.
Swamp's laughing. He said, "Yeah, when I'm not." Did you go to work today? I know you were living it up last night. You said you called off, but you were gonna see how you felt. Did you make it? This is my buddy Swamp Fox in my Twitch right now. Big Red. I think he's in the Discord as well. He was streaming last night, playing his guitar, drunk, having a good time. Yeah, I'll post it here. I'll post the Discord link now.
So Sharon sent me this story that Foo Fighters are to reopen Madison Square Garden, but only vaccinated people can attend.
How do they plan on doing that?
Which, yeah, I mean, my first questions is like, there's no way they're going to completely open this place up because there's no way they're going to sell that. They're not going to sell that thing out because especially because the vaccinated crowd, they're still wearing masks. They're still afraid to be in, they're still socially distancing. So
yeah,
this thing's definitely going to be a failure. And I just think that it's funny, if not ironic, that like Kurt Cobain, Dave is encouraging kids to take a shot.
Yeah, I saw who was it? The chick from the Hunger Games. What's her name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence just came out with a PSA talking about the Democrats and Republicans and voting rights and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just reminds me, like, I didn't see anything like this when Harvey Weinstein was getting busted.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean? The only reason I saw that is because an Open Secret shared that and tweeted out to her, why did she work on projects with I forgot exactly who, but outing her for basically working with fucking pedophiles.
Yeah. Mr. Wombat says, I did 3 years in the Air Force myself. Right on, Mr. Wombat. You want to come on and have a talk with us sometime, man? I'm generally interested in people's experiences when they, like what led you to volunteer in the first place. What was your experience like at the beginning? You know what I mean? Just going through it, stuff that you might want to talk about. I don't know if enough people actually talk to veterans about what they did and what they're willing to talk about. You know what I mean? Swamp Fox says I 100% called off. Facts. Yeah, Eisenhower, go ahead. We're not streaming from the Discord though. I appreciate everybody joining, man, and we're trying to make it as engaging as possible. So if you're in the Discord, feel free to throw up stories, talk about whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? As long as it's not TOS. We tried to make the categories pretty separate, so it's pretty clear for what you want to talk about. You can put it there.
But yeah, it's just a place to hang out when we're not online.
Yep. And the more and more you engage on the actual Discord, the more and more things get opened up to you. You know what I mean? You could see more chats, you could see more voice channels, you could see more things like that.
Start posting links, start posting files.
Yeah. Swamp says I'm going to Bonnaroo in September. September might be bad times. If you think about it, when was the worst times? Was it the beginning of the year, like May, for the virus?
I don't know. It seems something came out today, going to what Wombat's saying, that I guess Newsom in California is pushing forward with the vaccination passport.
Yeah, I saw that today too. The verification system, he's calling it, but
seems like Florida's going to be Florida and Texas might be like the last stands for fucking America, and then you got California that's just going to go full blown fascist. Revert.
Go ahead, try it out, guys. Let us know how it goes. I'm sorry for the people that I know that live there that are in enemy territory, but something's got to teach these fucking commies. You know what I mean?
It's sort of weird though too. It's like, because all the rich are leaving. It's sort of like reverse gentrification.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
All the money out, everybody's leaving. It's just attracting
more homeless people.
Yeah.
Mr. Wombat says, vax or non-vaxxed, we're absolutely not going back to segregation. Fucking here, brother. I sure fucking hope not, but it doesn't seem to be trending that way.
If they want to give me, like I said it before, man, if they want to set some land aside and make the non-vaccinated reservation, I will go. I'm down. Give me my land. I'll go quietly.
Right, foreign exchange program just reversed. Like, we'll send talented Americans to your country. You send unskilled labor in return, and we'll, foreign education program. Swamp Fox says that seems like it's going to be big. The concert, Swamp Fox. The Foo Fighters, is that what it was?
Yeah, the Foo Fighters in New York.
The Foo Fighters put on a good show, man. It's a good party atmosphere, but I don't see it selling out.
Yeah, I don't see that concert going well just strictly because of the fucking, the vaccinated, aspect of it.
I wonder what venue. Did they say MSG?
Yeah, the Garden.
How many people normally fit in the Garden for concerts? You know what I mean?
It depends on how they set it up, but a lot, man. 15, at least fucking 10, 15 fucking thousand people.
How many?
Plus,
because I know
space.
Foo Fighters played in Wrigley. How many people fit there? You know what I mean? If we compare how many fans they were pulling pre-pandemic to how many fans they pulled during this, it'd be a good
no, we're definitely going to do that. I'm going to have my eye on this. I'm looking for this to blow up in his fucking face. It's going to be like how they told you your prom was going to be with the beach ball in between your fucking date.
Right? Leave some room for the Holy Ghost.
The poor people that do show up to this are going to be like, man, this fucking sucks.
There's going to be yellow lines fucking painted on the floor. You have to stay in your fucking corral.
Yeah.
It's like this is a wall.
They'll set up cubicles and shit like that. It's concert in a cubicle.
Swamp Fox says you're streaming on YouTube. Yeah, I'm multi-streaming to YouTube and Twitch. Whenever we do these shows, I do both. It's just easiest. Whenever I'm just playing games, I'm usually streaming to Twitch now. I don't usually stream to YouTube unless it is this Coors V Plugs. Swamp says he was spinning till like 6 a.m. I think I stopped watching you at like 3 a.m. I jumped out of VC at like 2:30. Wombat said, yeah, that'd be dope. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, for sure, man. I think it'd be interesting to have like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 veterans. Just have a veteran panel one day and just talk about shit. You know what I mean? I think it'd be good. I definitely have a lot of questions I'm interested in. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't there. I only have, civilian knowledge of what was going on. I know, trust, I mean, everybody knows people that have been enlisted and served, but to actually, like, I think about it like this, man. Like, my grandfather fought in World War II, right? He was in Metz and stuff like that. He fought where the fighting was in World War II, but I was too young to ask him questions before he passed. You know what I mean? And now I wish as even 15 years ago when I was a young adult, you know what I mean? I wish I would have had the chance to be able to talk to him about some of the things that happened instead of just reading about it. You know what I mean? Somebody that was there would, especially someone like my grandfather, you know what I mean? He'd give me the real deal. So I feel like veterans are just an underutilized resource. You know what I mean? Because they've seen different ways of life. For me personally, I've never left the United States. Never been to Cancun like Ted Cruz or anything. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate it. And I think it'd be interesting.
So the New York Times won the Pulitzer Prize for its public service reporting on the COVID-19 pandemic, even though the outlet labeled the Wuhan lab leak theory as fringe conspiracies. And the reporters of the New York Times even admitted that they dismissed the theory because it came from the GOP. That was the only reason. They just said, oh, the GOP is attached to this. We're not even going to fucking investigate. And that is your Pulitzer Prize award winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus. I actually read a story right before we went online. I like the slow clap in the background. Yeah, I read a story right before I came online where Pompeo said that those lab workers that got sick before the pandemic had coronavirus. like this is like a brand new story. I don't know if it was like the Washington Examiner. I haven't posted a link yet. I got to go back and find it because I was getting ready to set up the stream.
Is that the one? I saw something earlier today saying that they're saying coronavirus was here in December 2019. Was that one, or is that a different story?
I'm not sure. I think it's the one that's saying that the lab workers in November that got sick, the ones that were already confirmed that the lab workers got sick, that those lab workers had coronavirus confirmed. But
okay, no shit. Yeah, I was waiting for that. I did not see that come out.
That was just Pompeo saying it. It wasn't like a, you know. I'll find it and I'll post that article in the Discord when I do find it.
That could be why they've been turning up their fucking misinformation fucking recently. Because I saw the December 2019 it was here. Where the fuck? And then the other thing that they put out too is that they found variants in nature. But at the same time, you know, the bats weren't sold in that market, so
yeah,
it doesn't make sense. So like something had to fly up and bite her.
I read that story too, and it wasn't a variance of the coronavirus. It was a completely different virus. It was like MSG13 or something like that. It wasn't a SARS virus. It wasn't a corona, because corona, like, you know, SARS, coronavirus, there's COVID-1 and COVID-2. COVID-2 is the one right now that COVID-19 is the disease that's caused by COVID-2, kind of like HIV and AIDS. You know what I mean? So there's only the two generations of this coronavirus. So the other virus that they found, it shares, they said 96% of the genome, but it's not the same. It's just, it has certain markers that the coronavirus has, but it's not a coronavirus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I saw too about one of the variants. It was one of the flu. It was the flu thing. That basically one of the variants is basically just, or they lowered the symptoms. They lowered the CDC lowered the coronavirus symptoms to basically just runny nose, cough, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Swamp Fox says, "I'm not worried about COVID. I'm a party." Bonnaroo's in Tennessee. I think I'm going to go down to Tennessee. I'll be in Tennessee at the end of this month, I think. He says,
bring your equipment down there and podcast at a bar somewhere.
I'd be down. Swamp Fox says they can't do that. It violates HIPAA. Yeah, you would think that would be that you can't do the coronavirus. You know what I equate it to? I equate it to having a STD fucking verification pass with you at all times. And masks are like wearing condoms. Like you can't mandate a mask and then not mandate a condom. You know what I mean? It's the same thing to me. You can't mandate a mask and you can't have vaccine passports, because that would be the equivalent to having a current STD test in your back pocket at all times. You know what I mean?
When the Nets were like, one of the baseball teams in New York were the first ones to talk about doing something regarding, you know, vaccinated and unvaccinated people. So they were going to not require a passport, but they were going to do separate seating sections and have a whole side of the, you know, a section of the arena for unvaccinated people.
Yeah, that's what Wombat was talking about with the segregation.
And I want to know is, I asked the exact same thing is, you know, why weren't we doing this for AIDS? You know, if you guys are going to round us up and throw us in a ghetto, will the non-vaccinated ghetto be near the HIV positive ghetto? I'm asking for a friend. Just asking for a friend. But
I'm going to catch up with chat here. I got like 6 messages read. Wombat says, no thanks to these tyrants like Newsom, Whitmer, and Cuomo. It'll become a pain in the neck to buy a home in Georgia. Yeah, I could believe that. Fuck. Swamp Fox says, just start punching people in the mouth if they tell you to put on a mask. No, we can't be doing that. We just got to go with the good old American, fuck you. That's my go-to. I only punch people in self-defense. No, I'm saying TOS in Minecraft and Call of Duty. Wombat says, I'd love to know how many people are running from blue states to red voted Democrat. I'd say very nearly all of them. If I had to imagine.
Don't think that that all these people fleeing the blue states and heading to red ones is necessarily a good thing or a win for the red states. Don't think for a second that, these fortifiers aren't going there with a fucking intention. There's a good portion of the population that are fleeing their fucking, the shitty states and the shitty situations, the shitty hand that they were dealt, some of them. Yeah. But then you have like the huge, Hollywood elite that's moving down into Texas, and don't think for a second that they're not going to fucking try to make it LA too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Swamp Fox says Bonnaroo is a giant music festival. Yeah, Bonnaroo's been huge for fucking 20 years now, it seems like. I've never been, but I know they get down for Bonnaroo. Let me see here. Foo Fighters, Incubus, Deftones, Tame, Impala, Primus. Yeah, that seems like a good party lineup. I fuck with Deftones and Foo Fighters. I don't fuck with Vag rock like Incubus. Just don't invite BTT. We don't get along. Who's BTT? MSG. This definitely. Yeah. It came from China. It was actually a bat virus in China. That MSG virus I was talking about. That it is a different virus. It is in China. It is 96% the same as the coronavirus. Little Mama says, yeah, not too much flu. Flu's gone, don't you know? Would be nice. I'm clean. Are you? Little Mama wants STD tests. House prices are through the roof here in Georgia. It's absolutely becoming a seller's market. Oh yeah, man. We were talking about that a little bit earlier before you got here, Wombat, that the property values are holding steady. It shows that it's not the same game being played, Wombat says, nope, I'm not happy about them. They voted for that nonsense, and I'm going to bring their nonsense with them. And they're definitely bringing their nonsense. Just hopefully they don't bring it all. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to not bring the nonsense. Yeah, most liberals are the ones moving and taking their politics with them. I don't know, man. Not necessarily, because I think New York, a lot of conservatives are leaving New York. I think just California, it seems to me that the people leaving California are mostly going to Colorado and to Texas. And obviously Colorado is blue, you know what I mean? But Texas...
It's funny, they're going to be disappointed when they see how many homeless are already in Colorado.
Yeah. Sharon says, yeah, they bring their agenda with them.
Yeah, I think... Sure. Was it McConaughey's trying to run for fucking office in Texas now?
Yeah, he's governor. He wants Newsom's job.
Oh, he's going to California? I thought he was running in Texas. I thought he was one of the dudes that bailed.
Is he? He might be, actually. It might be Texas. I thought he was running for Newsom, the California job. Yeah, Beyond the Tags. I think I saw him on one of Prime's panels recently. I didn't like the angle he was taking, talking to the libs. MSG belongs on rice and noodles only. Is that the shit that makes you feel full?
Yeah.
Wombat.
Yeah, he's running. He's running for Texas.
Texas, okay.
Texas governor. Yep.
Trying to take Abbott's job? I fucking doubt it. Wombat says, I was just listening to Deftones today. Shove it, shove it, shove it. Yeah, I fuck with the Deftones. Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada. Nevada, yeah. I don't see so much New Mexico and Arizona, Swamp Fox. I think most of the people leaving California are going to Colorado and Texas. I think that's Swamp Fox says, I'd vote for Matthew McConaughey, not gonna lie. All right. All right, I'm caught up. You can go through your chat now. So thanks and sorry.
So a fully vaccinated cruise ship set sail in the Caribbean. They tried to put up a huge fuss about Florida, so because they wanted to do their vaccination bullshit. And it sort of has implications for this fucking Dave Grohl concert as well. Fully vaccinated cruise ship. We had 2 passengers test positive. It's almost as if science says the vaccine doesn't prevent the virus.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't that always the case though? Didn't they say that you could carry the virus like in your nose and be vaccinated? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems that way. Seems to be more confirmation that so in theory, somebody that's vaccinated could spread it to somebody that's not vaccinated. I don't know.
No, this was a fully vaccinated cruise. Everybody was vaccinated.
Did they do the butt swabs to make sure that it was in their system instead of just stuck in their nose hairs? I'm advocating for anybody that has the vaccine to get the butt swab next.
Let's visit China.
Wombat says we're getting a bunch of Californians and New Yorkers moving to Georgia.
Oh, this one was fucking good too. So in the meeting, Biden brought up a phone call sharing vaccine doses with Boris early in the spring while the pandemic was hitting, but Boris was confused because Biden wasn't president then and the call never happened. Per White House official.
Hey, Boris, man, you remember we talked about this, man. Come on, man. Boris is like, I don't have a good Asian or not Asian English accent, so I can't. That never happened, Joe.
You're off your rocker. Might have been a little bit Scottish, but
what's he on about? Swamp says,
what do they call it? He's mental.
He's gone bloody mental, mate. I don't know. I suck at accents. That's funny though.
Talking to a world leader about a phone call that never fucking happened.
Hey man, you remember we talked about that on the phone, on the telegraph, on the record player.
I remember because Jill said I could have ice cream afterwards.
Swamp says that Matthew McConaughey's pretty Christian and somewhat conservative, mostly chill. I mean, I don't know. Governor Abbott's been holding it down. Besides the power situation. Cough, cough, bullshit. Magusta says. Sharon says, my liberal sister thinks someone lied and showed a bogus vax sheet. Oh, for the cruise ship?
Really? That's what they're saying? Well, where'd they get those at, just for research purposes?
That's what they did with the N1R1. H1N1, maybe? Little mama? I don't know what they did with the... Swamp says, got to run, though. Hydrate somewhere. I'll see you later. Have a good stream. Right on, Swamp. I appreciate you coming through, buddy. We'll talk about that. We'll set up an interview. I'd definitely like to just ask you some questions about your time, man.
Absolutely, man. Have a good one. So this story has actual implications for us because we were talking about pre-show about how we still have flags attached to some of our videos. And we thought they're supposed to go away after 90 days or so, and it's just permanent disclaimers. But I guess it might be a good thing. I guess it could, if there's a disclaimer, if you don't have a fucking disclaimer on your shit,
right,
you're banned. Yeah. You're banned or you're doing something wrong.
Right. It's a tag of valor at this point.
Yeah. There's a little bit of truth here. That's what that fucking tag means. But here you have a tweet of a vaccine story. It got the fucking tag misleading, but NBC News shares the exact same article, literally exact same thing. There's no tag there.
I found that article that I was talking about with Pompeo. I'm going to post that in the news section of the Discord if anybody wants to take a look at that while we're talking.
It's just interesting, the way that this algorithm and shit works, where it doesn't matter, what you post, you just basically, you get that red letter on you, and everything that you fucking say is, I guess, discredited, is poo-pooed.
Yep. They said lab leak. Fucking conspiracy theorists.
Mm-hmm. Just looking for a little bit of balance here, man. Just looking for a little bit of balance.
Didn't you hear fucking Jon Stewart?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't everybody hear Jon Stewart? Come on, don't give me that.
Yes. Finally,
is Jon Stewart?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, is Jon Stewart gonna be the next lib exiled from the left because he came out and said that now?
I'm sure he's done enough to where most of them hate him by now.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
So yeah, finally a little speck of journalism from the Wall Street Journal on June 11th. We've seen a year's worth of suicide attempts in the last 4 weeks. Yeah, well, look at the previous fucking 4 weeks.
Yeah. The pandemic control measures have taken a toll on teens' mental health. Oh, they're talking about just teenage suicide, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, fuck, we were talking about this pre-election, right around as soon as the lockdown started, more or less. We were talking about this.
Didn't they? Are you talking about the H1N1 flu shot? That's what they did with the N1R1 flu shot. I'm not sure. I never got flu shots. I'm not a.
Yeah, I've never gotten a flu shot either. I have no
I'm
idea.
not a needle kind of guy. I never have been.
I'm anti-government shot. I definitely want to show this. I'm glad I got to this. I was actually worried a couple days ago that I didn't share this. I had to run back and make sure I had this in there. So, let me let my dog in. Brave parent who grew up in Mao's China point out the identical traits between the Cultural Revolution and what's going on with the CRT.
Yeah, I did see this story.
I've been very alarmed about what's going on in our school. You are now training our children to be social justice warriors and to loathe our country and our history. Growing up in Mao's China, all this seemed very familiar.
Can you turn it up a bit, Red?
I think that's it. It's shitty audio.
Okay. Divide people. The only difference is they use class instead of race. During the Cultural Revolution, I witnessed students and teachers turn against each other. We changed school names to be politically correct. We were taught to denounce our heritage. The Red Guards destroy anything that is not communist, old statues, books, and anything else. We are also encouraged to report on each other, just like the Student Equity Ambassador Program and the bias reporting system. This is indeed the American version of the Chinese Cultural Revolution. The critical race theory has its roots in cultural Marxism. It should have no place in our school.
Tell him, Grandma. Sharon says, hashtag not my arm.
She fucking lived it, And
yeah.
Grew up in Mao's China. I love how she says, this shit has no place in our country. America still exists in the hopes and dreams of fucking people, especially in the immigrants.
Yeah.
Going back to why did Trump gain so much Latino votes? You know what I'm saying? Because America first.
Yeah.
It probably had a lot to do with it.
Yep. Just the idea of putting the citizens of our country ahead of foreign interests, simple. They see the authoritarianism. You know what I mean? The immigrants that come to this country, why do they come to this country? Like simple questions, like why do immigrants come to this country?
It's like there's these crazy fucking white people running around killing everybody. There's fucking guns on the streets, literally guns just on the
laying
streets.
In the fucking streets everywhere.
The entire top to bottom is fucking racist. From the lowest
built on racism. Yeah, built on the foundation of racism, and it perseveres everywhere. Yep. Why do people come here still? The worst,
Cesspool.
I don't get it, so maybe someone can explain it. Little Mama said, yeah, I didn't get that one. Heard there were problems and you had to redo the shot with the nose swab for the H1N1. Yeah, I'm not sure. I have to look into that. I never really looked into the H1N1. The media is definitely pushing the fuck out of vaccines right now.
Yep.
Sharon's here. White supremacy is our biggest issue, isn't it?
Yep, show is.
Show is. Depends on who you ask. I think Merrick Garland just gave a speech about how white supremacy is the #1 issue we're facing, with zero fucking information or details or any specifics whatsoever. No nuance, just white supremacy.
Well, white supremacy needs to step up their PR department. They need to get people twerking on the hoods of cop cars or something, because
could you imagine?
You know, like where I don't see any of their taggings in the alleys in Chicago. You know, they have absolutely no turf here. So
right.
If they're here, they're doing a piss poor job. You know,
bro,
where do they meet?
I just pictured Klan's women twerking on a cop car. Oh my god.
Butt naked except for the hood.
Right? Crazy. White supremacy is our biggest issue. I mean,
they were going with climate for a little bit, and it was climate for about 2 or 3 days. And now Biden's on his way back to America, so it's white supremacy again.
Yeah. Yeah, the world climate isn't #1 issue anymore. I don't know why my Streamlabs isn't working. Maybe I have to sign in to Streamlabs. Appreciate the follow though, leaky old man butt.
Yeah. Jumped over, you found Blizz.
I had a thing where when I thought I had Streamlabs set up, so when somebody followed, it would show Chris Farley giving like the little funny hello sign. I gotta see what's up. It should be notifying me, but it's not.
Dog NFT breaks record selling for 4 million, nearly 4 million.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I had a buddy that was telling me about what were they doing? They were doing something. Oh, he was my buddy Ninja was telling me about another buddy that's buying NFTs and flipping them, buying them for like 1/10 of an Ethereum coin and selling them for like $5,000 and shit like that. Like crazy money in NFTs. I don't
quite understand it either. That's some next level shit. I don't know. I'm gonna have to sit down at a tea party with a 6-year-old and see what the hell's going on there.
Yeah, right. Explain this to me. Yeah, that's great.
This is something that I sort of might have to start being a little bit of an activist about, because it is a little bit interesting. You know, as they do defund the police, you know, private security is definitely going to be on the rise. You know, it is going to be a job of the future, it seems like, with, you know, the police basically going to more or less what they are. You know, all they're there for is to protect the fucking property in the banks. Yeah. And that's really it. That's all it has. You know, that's all they're really supposed to be fucking doing.
For sure.
That's what seems like what the future is going to fucking hold for us. But, you know, for now, you know, you got people working security, you know, especially here in Chicago, man. You know, you do like a Jordan fucking release drop at like a fucking Foot Locker, your life's in danger, you know, at any point in time. So I think, you know, people want to talk about like livable wages for Washington staffers. How about livable wages and insurance for the families of people that, you know, make the streets fucking safe, make your fucking businesses, you know, make your businesses safe, your shopping experience safe, the people that are there before the cops can get there.
Yeah, you'd think that seeing as though you know, defund the police and ACAB are all you know, they're all gaining steam. You think that people that are providing private security would be.
Hey, I mean, I'm not a financial advisor, but I definitely would say invest in it. You know, if you've seen any science fiction movie about the future, it's lawless. It's way more lawless than it is here in Chicago. That's just what I'm saying. It's gonna be private security fucking mercenaries on the fucking streets, basically. It's what they want, you know? The rich people are safe and the rest of us are under the protection of Daddy Joe.
Yeah. Do you think rich people are not going to have security at any point? Like, no matter how much money you take away from the police?
I mean, you have the couple defund the police, I guess, you know, the people that are advocating for it. You know, the one called the cops, you know, the one from Portland. Mm-hmm. She ended up falsely calling the cops on a fucking Uber driver. But, you know, the ones they do call the police. They use them excessively. They're the problem on top of, you know, they have their own private security when they're not calling the police.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to our last episode when we showed Kevin Durant's fucking security dude. Or did we show that on the last one?
We talked about it. We were talking about it in the Discord.
Yeah, Kevin Durant's fucking private security jumped on the court during a little minor scuffle. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what private security will do. They'll push through fucking police. They'll go on a court in an NBA game. Like, they will do anything they have to fulfill their duty of keeping whoever their client is safe. Period. Like, it does not matter. Police don't matter. They'll go right through them, and they're, you know, whoever they're working for will pay for the lawyer. It'll be fine. Little Mama says, why don't the BLM go into the area where their people need help and where all these innocent little babies that are dying from gang violence? Why don't BLM go into the areas where people are dying from gang violence? Well, I mean, that's not their focus. You know what I mean? BLM is trying to call out police, like the violence from the state, I guess. And it is different, but you'd think that Black Lives Matter would mean Black Lives Matter instead of just, you know, Black Lives
send me money.
Yeah. Black Lives interactions with police lives matter. You know what I mean? It's not counterintuitive, to say the least. I'd say, Little Mama, I agree with you there. I think that in the Discord I posted something like 140 people under the age of 18 have died in Chicago this year by murder, gun violence. 140. You know? It's craziness.
I don't think you're going to find very many cases of very many Proud Boys in there.
Yeah, not a whole lot of Proud Boys killing people in Chicago, in case anybody's wondering. It's not the letter or the Proud Boys up here.
You could take shit, all of them. You could take, you know, go down the list of where all the murders are happening, every fucking major city, number 1 through fucking 10. Tell me where the white supremacists are doing their work. Where's the terror?
It's crazy, man. Crazy. At least they're starting to call out Black Lives Matter Incorporated, you know, because they've got what, $60 billion in fucking donations over the last fucking 2 years. You know what I mean?
Not so much worried about them. Never really was.
Yeah, me either.
The idea, on the other hand, is still getting an awful lot of protection, and a lot of people refuse to even announce that it exists. You know, like, we can't say it on YouTube, but some people say it doesn't even exist. You know, politicians. So it's very, very strange and sort of fucking frightening when you really consider the circumstances and, you know, the shit that's happened in history with, you know, black coats and whatnot, with ideas and uniforms.
Right. Fucking idea. I actually did a like a cursory deep dive. I started researching a little bit about Antifa, and I've got some pretty decent starting points mapped out for people if they want to actually look into Antifa.
Joe, I got Poso's Antifa book coming. It actually shipped yesterday.
Nice. You ordered it?
Yeah.
That's dope. I was gonna order his comic book.
So we'll definitely be diving into that fucking book once I get it and start reading it.
Yeah. Little Mama says we should all say the names of the victims, not the killers. Yeah, you'd think. It's fucking rage bait, you know? Fear porn.
See what we got here. I'm pretty sure they fucking laugh at him at the end of this. Joe got lost.
How are your meetings going in Cornwall, Mr. President? How are your meetings going here in Cornwall?
Very well.
Come on.
Yep.
Bill comes and scoops him away from the evil questioners in the crowd.
It's fucking
Go back
scary,
to the beginning of that video though. Just look at how lost he looks.
She's definitely.
He's looking at this table like
Like,
how are your meetings going in Cornwall, Mr. President? How are your meetings going here in Cornwall?
Very well.
Come on.
They always do.
Come on, let's go. You're too much time amongst the people.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Going back to my my cold open.
Look, Aaron's got to let him go. Aaron's got to let some bombs go. He's getting one out. He's getting one out. He's down. He's down.
Crackheads are just different now, man.
Right? I thought crackheads were supposed to be the ones running.
Bum fights change crackheads' lives.
Fucking bum fights.
It's a good part of my teenage years, man. It was I mean, as crazy and wild and probably as terrible it is, I mean, there's definitely some good, there was lessons to be learned watching those fucking DVDs.
Yeah. I mean, it was disturbing to watch. I'm not gonna lie, I've seen them all.
Yep.
The bum
damn
fights
straight,
videos.
multiple times. I think they're still laying around a certain friend's basement somewhere. Just fucking DVDs back before they could wipe shit off the internet.
Right? Fucking VHS in those big puffy fucking VHS sleeves.
Well, yeah, man. Now, because of bum fights, crackheads are better at capitalism than recent college grads.
Right. Lamar Odom probably made more money in this fucking fight alone than he has in the last 3 or 4 years since his bad luck as far as his health went that short time ago when he was comatose or whatever. They thought he was dead.
And fucking how did crackheads break the fucking sports barrier before the fucking trans athletes? They're gonna be mad about this, or are they just gonna act like it's it didn't happen? We don't want to fight with the crackheads.
Yeah, you ain't catching no crackhead. They're fast. Sorry, I just smashed my headphone off my microphone.
This was great.
Yeah, I really like this.
Two.
I'll make this big.
Me, I don't know. PhD, cancer biology scientist. I work in a biotech company. We make COVID-19 testing kits, stuff like that. And then 6. It has nothing to do with your background. I don't think you really have the highest EQ out of all of us. Tyler,
what they think each other's IQs are and ranking
because
them.
the way he carries himself.
This
He was
PhD
ranking intelligence based on his
what
point of
IQ
view
means.
and not
It's
taking
called
in
an
other
EQ.
people's point of views and compiling results. But really just came down to his body language, his demeanor, the way he carried himself, the way he acted towards the group.
So number 1 is Raymond. Number 2 would be Kaylee. Number 3 will be Tyler. And number 4 would be Shada. Number 5 is Sean. And number 6 is Maria.
Boom!
Fucking hilarious. Curb your ego, little lady.
Fucking intellectuals. PhD, working at a biochem factory.
His body language is the reason why I think he's dumb.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Just straight up judging that boy off of off of his looks and his appearance.
Right.
So that was racist, or is it just prejudice?
I would think prejudice because it, didn't.
I don't know, man. I don't know if prejudice is even a word anymore. They might have just took that shit straight out of the dictionary since they're, they're rewriting everything else.
Goes from 1 to 3. Step 2 is just missing now.
Yeah.
Bias, racist. No, not bias, prejudice, racist.
YouTube's removing the dislike feature, so why not? Why not just start erasing fucking words?
Fuck it. That's funny though. The PhD had
everything.
The lowest IQ out of the whole panel. 130 is generally a pretty good IQ. It's above average.
There's also those are like for Facebook IQ tests too, which even hilarious, fucking laughable.
Super hilarious.
Yeah. Just in case, who is in here that says that they were depressed?
Swamp Fox, but he's not here anymore.
Oh yeah, Swamp Fox, man. Hopefully, it's got nothing to do with the Clintons, man, because apparently having any information that has to do with them is awfully fucking depressing.
Yeah, depression inducing for sure.
Pretty scary shit. It's a long list of names.
Yeah, let's just move along. I love the Clintons. Big fan of the Clintons over here. Big fan.
So then, June 13th, the story started coming out basically that Biden said that he was not going to go on live mic with Putin after the end of their talks, that they were going to have, separate press conferences. And the media tried to fucking spin it, or just completely, not acknowledge it at all. And, there was just, a few people questioning, why wouldn't he go on there? Why wouldn't Biden, face this man who he just called a killer a couple fucking months ago?
Yeah. Yeah, right, little mama. Thomas is dumb as a box of rocks, but I got common sense.
Alex Salvi here tweeted out that this is a huge mistake if it's coming from the White House, as it misses an opportunity to pierce the veil into the Russia and publicly confront Putin. I said, man, you're out of your fucking mind. Basically, it's a huge, way huger mistake to have Biden anywhere near Putin with a microphone.
Right? He's going to troll the fuck out of him, and Biden won't even realize it.
As you're going to see starts to fucking happen. Biden starts coming unwrapped at the seams as the weekend fucking, starts off with that G7. And
not just that, but look at all the uproar that came out of the last meeting. Trump didn't punch Putin in the face, so anything short of that was a failure on confronting Putin for whatever the fuck they were blaming him for at that time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a PR move. It has nothing to do with the American people.
I thought this was pretty fucking funny. China warns the G7 leaders that the days when small groups of countries decided the fate of the world were long gone. Z calls out minorities.
Yeah. I like that one. That's a good one. Yeah, he's basically telling the EU to go fuck themselves, huh?
Yes, indeed. Appears that way. There's an interesting story here that the New York Times fucking put out that scientists estimate that tens of millions of people can't create images in their mind's eye.
Really?
This blew my fucking mind. Like, yeah, I mean, it's like some people, like when they're fucking reading books, is that why, so many people just don't like to read because they simply can't picture it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started going off that who is it? Mark Chapman killed John Lennon because he simply couldn't imagine.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. It's probably accurate.
He's fucking mocking me. And everybody loves this song. Fucking walking down. It must have been terrible. But yeah, this is sort of fucking mind-boggling to me, Fuck really blew my mind that there's so many people walking around that, have trouble thinking, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That can't paint visual, mental images.
Like, yeah, like a photographic memory is one thing, but like simply can't just picture something.
Yeah, right.
Like what
Like
the
if you
fuck
say a
is going
castle
on?
on a hill, like they literally cannot paint the picture in their mind. That's wild.
I have a cure for hiccups that I tell people, and it's fuck. That's why that's happening, because I switched that screen up. But yeah, it's close your eyes and draw a cow. And then when they're focusing on that, you tell them, don't forget the udders. And it works. So like, there's actually people out there that would not be able to fucking do that. It's crazy. Fucking crazy. Definitely a science fucking breakthrough that I'm going to be fucking following.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's definitely some high-minded shit.
And then, yeah, that also thing that fucking got me too is like religions. Religions took advantage of literal blind faith, because the vast majority of the masses could not simply comprehend what the fuck they were even telling them. They simply couldn't fucking do it. They just took their word for it.
Yeah. Listen to me. I wouldn't lead you astray, my flock.
Yeah. AstraZeneca shots should be halted for those over 60s too. From Reuters. Train kept it rolling all night long. Train kept it rolling all night long.
Yeah, this is where they ask him about what he said about Putin being a killer. Let's let this one roll.
Hold up.
When you're having these conversations with European allies who are very concerned about these sanctions, how do you justify that? And what are your plans?
120 days. Give me a break.
Oh, yeah. That was not the Putin one. But it's fucking terrible.
120. What do you say? 120? 180?
How do you justify that? And what are your plans?
120 days. Give me a break.
Yep.
Need time.
Jesus. Remember he had this plan? He had this huge plan to build back better?
Yeah.
He had all the answers. This career politician, he's got the experience, so he knows what to do.
Trust me, I have a plan. 120 days.
New footage of live bats with the Wuhan lab after they denied it.
That's interesting.
It's there if anybody wants to take a look. Here's another video from our wonderful
COVID
leader.
is, I know you all know, but a lot of people may not know what COVID is. That is a system whereby they're going to provide funding for states to be able to get access to vaccines. COVID is.
Nobody, a lot of people might not know. Is he talking about the people of color that don't know how to use the internet or get accountants that he's said previously?
COVID, the system where we send money to states. Get the fuck out of here. Who let this guy out today? Little Mama said that's why we need to read more books. Said, is there one of mine's is there one of my lookalikes?
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I did pop this up. It's another big fucking news story that came out this week. You could also check that out in the Discord or on my Twitter. Court documents show U.S. government directed big tech to censor the public, and it started in like 2019. That fortification began, a lot sooner than I had thought, and we're starting to see the trail come out from that. Definitely recommend somebody take a peek at this.
That link actually shows the court filings as well. If anybody is into the legalese and the white papers, you feel free to check that out.
Yeah.
I deleted the last comment because I didn't spell it right, Little Mama. It's okay, Little Mama. I could usually understand what you're trying to say.
The U.S. federal government made a quid pro quo deal with Twitter to not regulate them if they agreed to censor whatever they were ordered to.
Oh, would you imagine that?
2017, excuse me. Fortification began in 2017.
Yeah, it seems like fortification didn't have a whole lot to do with COVID, huh?
Yeah, it seems like there was definitely a plan. Who knew? Who knew rich and powerful people come together to make fucking plans? Who'da fucking thunk it?
Who'da thunk it?
This is a hilarious fucking chain of events that happened. So when Biden was at one of his meetings on June 13th, there was some trouble with the cell service. I think we made a couple jokes about his earpiece fucking up earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And some people thought that it was blocked to keep China from spying. And so National Secretary Advisor was asked, did you guys block cell service? And he says, no, there's just spotty cell service here, which, I guess, people can confirm that it is the case, but they, tried to fucking hide and duck under it. As you will see, they can't just come out and fucking say that, yeah, man, fuck China. We're not letting anybody listen to this. We're telling secrets, nothing, no sort of fucking honesty at all. And I called it out immediately. Misinformation fucking aplenty. And we were told that some of the G7, some of the summit sessions were going to be conducted in a more secure format as the host country, UK, would oversee the communications. Immediately after that. So fucking, what was dude, National Security Advisor, didn't think. So that guy, just is completely out of the loop, or he's full of shit.
Has no idea what's going on, or
yep. Yeah, so Jake Sullivan, you're full of shit, guy.
Magusta, if you can't fall up a flight of stairs, you're not a potato. Joe Biden, probably.
I was hoping that cicada was going to knock him on his ass. I'm really surprised it didn't.
Oh, man. I love the memes we're getting out of this administration so far, though. It's fucking hilarious. The Biden Harris with the gas sign on E. That's perfect. I love it.
We got another message from Anonymous.
Let's get it. Hannah Montana is actually Miley Cyrus. Anonymous.
Looks like Elon ain't scared.
Right.
I had to share this one too. China denounces the G7 statement, calling it to stop slandering the country. As you can tell by the title of our fucking podcast, I'm not too G7. Fucking convinced. Yeah, I'm not too convinced at all that that Xi, isn't, there's a couple good memes in the Discord that you could see where Biden is basically a chess piece, and because they're all social distancing. It worked out fucking perfect. And Xi is placing Biden down on the board. If you don't think that China doesn't have hands in pockets fucking everywhere, just as bad as they do here, you're right. Naive.
The land of many, many hands.
As well as, the story that we're just talking about, where they were trying to keep China from hearing what they were talking about there. It just shows you how much influence and interest they have in this.
Yeah, you got to say it in this guy's voice, though.
Don't
stop it.
I was actually trying to find this meme. I was looking through the archive of Stewart memes, and it was actually a really good laugh. I'm in my dark place. I fucking remember all this shit.
Someone say cheese sticks? I identify as a cheese stick. That's offensive.
Definitely want to put this bitch on blast too.
Fuck Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, but shouldn't she be on a fucking witness stand somewhere by now? Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm suggesting her that this lady right here work on her legal defense team for this shit that she spewed out.
I like how Miss Naomi Sawyers puts lawyer in her title. Naomi Sawyers, lawyer, Esquire.
Unpopular opinion, the best thing young people can do in their early careers is do sex work on the side. Young people.
So she's basically saying, I was a stripper, don't judge me?
Yes.
Like best case scenario.
That's literally it. No, that's literally it. That's literally it. I've done my due diligence, and that's exactly what it is. Hilarious that you figured that out immediately. Fucking immediately. Had 2 sentences read. Stripper. It's the education that you can't get in Indiana.
Yeah, you don't
get this in
school.
West Virginia. Yeah, exactly. Get it in the streets.
Magusta says strippers' lives matter. I agree. I'm in full support of single mothers all over the country.
Yeah. Putting them through law school, medical school, whatever they want to do in their free time.
As long as they ain't out selling that ass, the strip club is just fine. OnlyFans is stealing their fucking chops, though. I don't know how it's gonna handle. Are we gonna have a street fight like West Side Story with chains and knives, and strippers and OnlyFans girls? I could just see it now, like Weatherman, with Rod Burgundy, snapping, snapping to the fucking some shitty Bon Jovi song. See, I can paint pictures in my mind.
The president can't. So since Biden started falling apart, they started withholding the press from getting access to him. Here they are, they're waiting an hour and a half to, just get a glimpse of the president. Meanwhile, the Turkish media was allowed in, and no explanation was given at all.
Maybe we should look up that Turkish media video. I'm sure that's out there. Wonder what he had to say that he didn't want to tell us. Well, Turkey seems to be are like frenemy at this point, ain't it? Like they're a pretty big ally, but they're not really kosher. I don't know how else to say
Wild card,
that.
bitches.
Right? Yeah, right, Magusta? Doing the dance from Bad with strippers on one side. The other side, it's the fucking OnlyFans girls doing the Thriller dance.
Did you catch the Biden saying Ukraine needs to clean up corruption and meet other criteria before joining NATO?
Yeah, I posted that in the Discord early this morning before I went to bed. I said, who's going to tell him?
Yeah, I put here, don't do it, Dad. It's a trap. If you remember Hunter's warning to him.
Yep.
But I think there's more to this. Is I'm gonna end up tweeting in there. I don't know if it's higher up or not. But basically,
who's gonna?
Oh yeah. It's later. Yeah, it's later on because Biden basically says that he can't see Ukraine and NATO, and I made the comment that like Taiwan, Biden fails to see Ukraine. I think the similarities there, I think we talked about it on the last episode that
yeah, you can't see me. I'm sitting over here doing the John Cena.
Like when when Biden had his phone call with Ukraine, you asked me what they were talking about, and I was like, oh, how did the Russian takeover go? What could we do better? How can we make this acquisition of Taiwan go by a little bit better than last time?
Yeah. Magusta says you got to throw in a gang of BB Dubs gals bitching about body shaming, fighting in the West Side Story war. Body acceptance, bitches. All right, let's get it.
What do you say to Vladimir Putin?
Answer the first question. I'm laughing too.
What the fuck?
Well,
Hold
look,
on.
I mean, he has
Hold the
made
fuck on.
clear
I'm sorry.
that,
I'm sorry.
Is that usually how people like? I'm laughing. Is that? Could you imagine?
That's definitely
if
worse
people...
than Kawhi's laugh. Yeah. Definitely.
Just imagine people on the street like telling a joke, a fucking chicken crossing the road joke. I'm laughing. Jesus.
That would be his answer, or that's what the first thing he's going to say to Vladimir Putin. I'm laughing too.
Yeah.
What do you say to
Really?
I bet I
Vladimir
could
Putin?
almost guarantee you Vladimir Putin walks in the room chuckling.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
mean, I'm not so sure if he didn't actually mean to say that there, because Putin has been trolling the fucking shit out of him. Maybe that was actually,
yeah,
some real shit there. That was a Kamala Harris clapback.
that was like a burn from the 1950s.
Yeah, exactly.
We just not get it anymore.
My dad told me this one.
My dad.
To answer the first question, I'm laughing too. They actually, well, look, I mean, he has made clear that
jeez,
gone, missed it.
The
Lost
answer
it.
is,
Sorry, what was the question?
I believe he has in the past essentially acknowledged that he was, there are certain things that he would do or did do. But look, when I was asked that question on air, I answered it honestly. But it's not much of a, I don't think it matters a whole lot in terms of this next meeting we're about to have.
It does not matter that
The
I called this
second
man a
question
killer a month
was
ago.
Give me a break, man. It was the campaign.
I'd verify first and then trust.
It's bad, man. It's real fucking bad. The cognitive decline is real.
Hey, Vlad, you know all that stuff I've been saying for the last 4 years or so? I didn't mean it, man. Come on, man. 120 days. Give me a break,
man. This guy wasn't that bright to begin with. So for him to be fucking losing it mentally,
he was never the shining star of Congress, if anybody remembers.
Yikes, man. Yikes.
Magusta says you gotta don't forget the purple armpit haired commie broads too.
Yeah. Like, the vice president's niece.
Yeah.
With her modeling contract.
Little mama, I know exactly what you mean. Magusta says, because I'm bad. I'm bad. Magusta's appreciating the picture that she's painting or he's painting in their head right now. That's great.
So can everybody here paint pictures in their heads?
It's going to be the next thing, you know.
It's
radical right wing
thinking is racist.
Extremists.
Yeah. Thinking leads to extremism, or thinking is extremism. It's fucking crazy.
I keep dropping the Discord link if anybody wants to jump in. Afterwards. I'm talking about afterwards.
Oh, I just had something good that I wanted to add on this Putin video, and I forgot what it was.
Come on, man. All that stuff, I didn't mean it. Jill told me it was wrong, so I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, there it is. So as we see how this trip has gone for fucking Biden, this European trip has been a fucking huge fucking embarrassment. Now we can start to understand Kamala's I've never been to Europe fucking line. You know, she was salty beforehand because she knew what the fuck was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like now
why don't you worry about Europe this week? I'm going to be talking to Central Americans. Won't you
from here though?
Yeah.
Far from the border.
If I was there, it wouldn't have went so bad. Magusta says it would make a great skit, actually. Somebody get on that. I'm too lazy.
Biden begins his press conference in Europe by telling Americans to get vaccinated. The vaccine's only been available for 185 days. Give me a break, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Give me a break. Yeah, and then they started up. Now that Europe was gearing down and Biden was on his way home, they had to change the narrative back from climate change being a threat to
COVID.
You know, the droves of fucking
the white supremacists.
Yep, droves of hateful fucking whites.
The FBI has warned lawmakers that online QAnon conspiracy theorists may carry out more acts of violence as they move from serving the digital soldiers to taking action in the real world following the January 6th U.S. Capitol. Like, do they ever link to the source material for this stuff?
Maybe they found it in Hunter's laptop.
Maybe. Do you know that somebody put out an article that had the passwords for Hunter's laptop? They listed the passwords for the different files and shit. Oh man, it's getting hairy.
I said followers of the letter should join the idea and try to change it from the inside.
Yeah.
I mean, at the very least, you'll be mostly peaceful.
Mostly peaceful. 93.6% peaceful.
And then story started coming out that YouTube they're moving towards removing the dislike feature.
Yeah, we saw this coming.
And we got to shout out to Joey Most Votes.
Joey Most Votes. Most votes in American history for all you fans out there. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Shout out Rotella Streams. We miss you, buddy.
Dislike vote matters. Dislike votes definitely fucking matter. Just another example of them taking your fucking voice away. Another way of them to fucking rewrite. This is how basically how history is written, by the winners. It's not going to be, the likes and dislikes and the comments, so you could actually see, troll or not, you could actually see what the consensus opinion, was. And, it's basically like a fucking living time capsule, more or less. You could watch it grow and see as it changes over time, shit like that. It's actually pretty cool and pretty valuable to fucking society. I at least think so. Nope, we can't have that. This definitely goes against the fucking narrative. And
online
we need
bullying.
to make sure. Yeah, we need to make sure that this is not in the fucking school books.
Yep. Yeah, exactly, little mama. Exactly. These are the things that they're doing on the interweb.
Your voice will not be fucking heard,
No siree, babaloo.
Unless you're Chrissy Teigen telling,
saying you're sorry,
a little girl to go kill herself. Yeah. And then, like Taiwan, Ukraine remains to be seen. Do a flag up for Flag Day. Yeah, Chuck Schumer, dropped the other hard R on a podcast.
Oh yeah, I don't think we could listen to that one, but
and just following the story of Hunter Biden had lots of the other.
He was
hard
dropping
R's
the other
usage.
hard R,
yeah. Seems to be a lot of that coming from the tolerant good guys on the left.
If anybody out there is interested to listen to the left in their own words talk about disabled children, go ahead and follow Big Red on Twitter.
United States producer price inflation jumps to 6.6%. Man, we started talking about that already.
Yeah.
The largest year-over-year increase in history.
And I mean the best economists in the best economists in the world were saying that 5% was going to be a lot. So here we are, past that.
120 days, mind you.
120 days, man. Need time. Give me a break.
And I've said before, and I apologize to repeat. I didn't have to take Sullivan. Jacob was a massive security advisor. I'm leaving out a lot of people here. I apologize. I'm going to get in trouble. Anyway, we'll get back to that.
Why is he always saying I'm going to get in trouble?
Jill beats him.
There's a lot that is happening. I used to. And
got lost again. But yeah, that's a very good fucking question. He's always saying that he's going to get in trouble. Who is the president of the United States afraid of?
Yeah. What? Good trouble? Like, there used to be that saying, good trouble. No, I don't think that's the trouble he's talking about.
Oh, Sharon sent me the link for the Project Veritas, so we'll
Nice.
definitely get into that. You want to play Jon Stewart?
Yeah. I mean, don't matter to me. I'm down with it. We should. Probably won't fly for YouTube, but let's let it ride.
I think we owe a great debt of gratitude to science. Science has, in many ways, helped ease the suffering of this pandemic, which was more than likely caused by science.
When he's on, he's fucking on.
Whoa! Stephen Colbert said,
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah. I used to do that once upon a time.
Right?
It's coffee. I would do that. I would do that to you. What do you mean? Do you mean like there's a chance?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
If there's evidence, I'd love to hear it.
There's a novel.
If there's evidence, I'd love to hear it.
Overtaking Wuhan, China.
This jackass fucking Colbert.
The Wuhan novel respiratory coronavirus lab. The disease is the same name as the lab. That's just a little too weird, don't you think? And then the NASA scientists are like, how did this? So wait a minute, you work at the Wuhan respiratory coronavirus lab. How did this happen? And they're like, a pangolin kissed a turtle. And you're like, no, the name of your lab. And you look at the name. Look at the name. Let me see your business card. Show me your business card. Oh, I work at the coronavirus lab in Wuhan. Oh, because there's a coronavirus loose in Wuhan. How did that happen? Maybe a bat flew into the cloaca of a turkey and then it sneezed into my chili and now we all have coronavirus. Like, come on. Okay. What about this? Oh my God. There's been an outbreak of chocolatey goodness near Hershey, Pennsylvania. What do you think happened? I don't know. Maybe a steam shovel, maybe with a cocoa bean. Or it's the chocolate factory. Maybe that's it.
When he's on, he's fucking on, man.
Oh, bro. See, I fucking miss comedy. I miss it.
Amen.
That's good shit. I liked Bill Burr's Saturday Night Live monologues too. Those are fucking hilarious. Yeah, when he's on, he's good. Stephen Colbert almost fucking
threw his fucking coffee on him. Yep. Jon Stewart ran for his life. And here we have AG Merrick Garland. In the FBI's view, the top domestic violent extreme threat comes from racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists, specifically those advocating the superiority of the white race. Fucking the evil fucking boogeyman, you know, if they know where the Legion of Doom is, if they know so much about this and they have all these threats, you know, that they're not telling us, why don't they just go and stop these motherfuckers?
Right? Fucking where's the specifics here? Where's the sources that just show us these evil white supremacists so we all know who they are?
I'm a large man. I'm fucking 6'2", fucking 275 fucking pounds, pretty fucking muscular. I work security. If you guys can picture things in your minds. So you'd think that I'd be like, you know, a pretty big, you know, I'd be high on the list of recruits. You know, if one of these guys saw me walking down the street, you'd think somebody would like pass me a note or something.
Right? Hey, fellow Caucasian man. Would you like to come to our meeting?
Hello, fellow Caucasian. May I like to talk to you about our Lord and Savior. White Jesus.
White, slightly booted like Mike Piazza Jesus.
He's got a mullet.
I've never been recruited by white supremacists, though. I still firmly believe that 80% of white supremacists are feds.
Even adding on that, though, here living in Chicago, in the murder capital of the world, you'd think that these evil fucking terrorist fucking hate group would be here knocking people off where you could get away with it so fucking easily, right? You'd think that the murder numbers in Chicago would be a huge portion of evil fucking white supremacists.
We're going to need to see the data here, Mr. Garland.
You'd think so, right? You'd think all the major cities where crime was rampant and murder is basically, you know, getting away with on a nightly fucking basis. You'd think that'd be the places, you know, to start committing hate crimes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you bring it up too, because I posted the weekend update from Gotham. I'm gonna start doing that every weekend, just posting the numbers of people shot and murdered in Chicago. And apparently, I did it too soon because that number went up by like 20 before that Sunday was over.
Yeah, definitely. You don't wait till Monday morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna start having.
You don't wait till 6 a.m. Monday morning when the fucking news starts.
Yep. Just so everybody knows, that number was not a very good number. It was in the 50s this weekend. 50 people shot this weekend alone in Chicago, my home city. In case anybody's wondering about how it is on the other side, you know.
Yeah, you remember the episode where the evil white supremacist tried to assassinate President Obama?
the Legion of Doom?
You remember?
No. Never seen it.
Yeah, it's evil people, you know, like Cobra Kai and all that, you know, just so bad, but never even got close to, you know, actually doing something, you know, extreme. You know, the extremist group that you don't see and never does anything extreme. And there's did you see Southwest Airlines grounded their entire fleet today after having computer trouble yesterday? Supposedly all Southwest Airline flights were down as of 4 hours ago. I don't know if they're back in the air or not. I wonder what's behind this latest you know, cyber attack or another coincidental fuck up.
Very interesting.
I wonder if Biden's going to ask Putin if he's behind it. And we have the announcement of the vaccine passport. Mia Cathell put out this article about this guy's puts out basically some information talking about how the far left's activities are issuing nothing less than an invitation to genocide. And I just want to put my message out there to just in case that is the fucking intent.
The Rock says, know your damn rolling.
Oh yeah, and here's Biden's actual note card, that President Mari's note card that we were talking about. Joe Biden needed a flashcard to remind him that everything is Trump's fault.
Yeah.
Take a look at that fucking note card.
Yeah, I want to read it off for everybody. It says, what does it say? Trump abused power. Trump DOJ out of control. Now we have to clean it up. I've made it clear this DOJ will reflect my values and principles and priorities, not Donald Trump's. They include redacted. That's all you could see because his hands, you know, but you could see the word co-equal. You could see voting rights. Yeah. His note cards, you know, the list that they make him every day that he pulls out of his pocket sometimes when he's not supposed to on air. We got a good look at one of those. That's pretty interesting. And the fact that Joe Biden can't remember that everything is Trump's fault.
Yeah. The substance on that card is, you know, it's two sentences. The first line's what a sentence, then a sentence. It's kindergarten.
Very interesting.
Did I put the new shirt up too? Yeah, let me plug the redone
nice
Clap You Dumb Bastards shirt just in time for July 4th. Red, white, and you dumb bastards.
Clap, you dumb bastards. You really are a slow bunch, aren't you?
All right. Yeah, and Biden had a shit week in Europe, and it all makes sense. Oh, damn, I got to open up Twitter back up so we can do that Veritas.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's all telling now is why the heiress made that,
yep,
that I've never been to fucking Europe fucking snapback.
Right? She might not be a smart lady, but she ain't a dumb one. You don't make it to the echelons by just pole smoking, I guess. You got to be kind of witty too.
Oh, let me just go back to Veritas.
Yeah. What's the matter? The heat got you? The cicada got me. Be careful. Cicadas out here. It's too bad. I wanna see what it comes out of this Putin meeting. It would have been real nice to get some public remarks.
Veritas is no longer on Twitter. They fucking scraped their asses.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a minute.
For it.
Yeah, we'll share the shit out of it. I don't give a fuck. It'll just be a DMCA. It'll be, hopefully I'll be able to just mute that section or whatever.
All right. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. I definitely wanted to see this. I've been waiting all day for this. I was hoping it was going to come out earlier this morning so I could have some time to digest it. Let's go ahead. I know when you got it up.
It's up. Good to go. Got no volume though. Did you hear me, Red?
What's up?
We got no volume.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
For standing up against.
There we go. We're good.
In my opinion, you failed as a reporter.
From the inside, yes, there's a narrative. Yes, it is unspoken. But if you accidentally step outside the narrative, if you don't sense what that narrative is and go with it, there will be grave consequences for you.
It's not just about the viewers. It's about what our CEO reads. It's about what our GM reads.
My question is very simple. Why are you doing this?
It affects the viewers. That's why I'm doing this. The viewers are being deceived by a carefully crafted narrative in some stories.
I have passed on Bitcoin stories. African-American audience of 5, it's probably not going to play. That's a choice I'm making, an editorial choice.
That seems sort of a racially charged statement to make.
I want out of this narrative news telling. I want out of this corruption.
Are you afraid of doing this?
I haven't had a lot of fear about it. I'm so horrified at what the news business has stooped to.
What you just heard was our newest insider, Fox 26 reporter Ivory Hecker, blowing the whistle on her own network's bias. Hecker felt compelled to come forward and shine a light on what she says is Fox 26 being, quote, deceptive to viewers.
Fox came at my throat for standing up against censorship. Fox Corp is prioritizing corporate interests above the viewers' interests and therefore operating.
The martyrdom of Assange didn't turn everybody off.
Bitcoin stories. African-American audience of 5, it's probably not going to play. That's a choice I'm making, an editorial choice. You need to cease and desist posting about hydroxychloroquine.
It's not just about the viewers. It's about what our CEO reads.
You need to stand for something or fall for anything.
Damn.
Hey,
that's a fucking receipt right there, man. She's got their asses. Wow. Wow.
I love how she broke it on air.
Dayside
on
reporter,
Fox.
primarily on the 5 o'clock news, also 6 o'clock news.
And why have you
Shout out
chosen
Death
to
and Certainty. Thanks for the follow,
What's
buddy.
happening?
We're going to open it up as soon as we're done with these news
Fox
stories.
Corp
If you want to jump on and bullshit with us.
An operation of prioritizing corporate interests above the viewer's interests and therefore operating in a deceptive way. Viewers are being deceived about some of the things that are going on. From my experience, my newsroom kind of groups everyone into racial groups. You know, a lot of our meetings are about, well, how does this play to Black people?
Hecker says Fox 26's suppression of news stories many times was based on their viewer demographics.
I have passed on Bitcoin stories by almost every single reporter for our 5 o'clock audience because that's not our 5 o'clock audience. So there are lots of reasons. If I know our numbers are tanking from 5 to 6, and in one particular segment, you know, an older woman, whatever, I may say, yeah, the Bitcoin for African American audience at 5, it's probably not going to play. That's a choice I'm making, an editorial choice.
What does she mean by that?
Research is done to study what sort of demographic groups watch each newscast, and it was found that, according to her, that some of our biggest audience at 5 is poor Black people, and she has decided that poor Black people don't care about Bitcoin.
That seems sort of a racially charged statement to make on her behalf.
She chose to kind of divert to the story of Bitcoin herself.
Hecker goes on to explain how she believes Fox 26's biases go beyond just race. It even seeps into their coverage of medicine and health in general.
We have some of those examples, including a video clip of Dr.
Death of Certainty saying, what are we discussing, by the way, right now? We're watching the video that just dropped on Project Veritas. This reporter yesterday live on Fox, I think it was Fox 26 in Houston, live on air, said that she's a whistleblower and that she's going to expose Fox Corp for
muzzling her and other journalists.
Yeah. So this is brand new, just came out an hour ago?
Yep, within the hour.
So this is breaking insider whistleblower in Fox News, which is kind of counterintuitive, seeing as it's Project Veritas, right? They usually only go after lefties, right?
So far, but yeah, I mean, fuck. It seems like they're getting a little bit of credibility there to, you know, people that aren't on a fucking side.
Yeah, and also I have the G7 summit communique, the actual official statement from the G7 that we're gonna go through after we cover the news stories. We're just about done covering the news.
We might have to save that one for next time. I got to jump off within the hour.
Oh, okay, right on. Cool. Yeah, so that's where we're at. We're following this Project Veritas leak today from inside of Fox Corp, a reporter that was fired today, apparently.
All right, let's get back into it.
Dr. Stella Emanuel talking about hydroxychloroquine in July of 2020.
America, you don't need to be afraid. COVID has a cure. You don't need to be afraid. COVID has prevention. If they put everybody on hydroxychloroquine right now, for those with early disease, and those that want to get prevention, I'm telling you, we'll stop COVID in its tracks in 30 days.
That story went viral July 27th. The next morning at Fox 26, someone tipped me off, this doctor's from Houston. This is our local story. And we also, everyone noticed how it was getting censored across social media platforms like we'd never seen before. We were all stunned by that. My boss, Susan, talked about how it did not make sense that they were censoring this. Dart brought up that.
Who's Dart?
Oh, Dart is Susan's boss, our station president. And Dart on that call, he said, look, it's obvious why this is getting censored. President Trump said that hydroxychloroquine works. He retweeted her. And whatever he does, everyone wants to do the opposite.
Who said that?
That's what Dart said. So the story aired. We talked about a recent NIH study where hydroxychloroquine was found to neither be harmful or helpful.
It is.
And I added that to the story. Fucking heavy. And Susan the next day said it was a very
lot of people's fucking lives were
lost. But after I was
lost
done putting that story together, I made a separate social media post
about
like censorship itself. And I said, look, we just witnessed unprecedented censorship across the social media monopoly, her being censored. That's an alarming precedent that was just set.
So this was like a turning point moment for you.
That was a turning point for me.
This,
yeah.
Dr. Stella. Yeah.
What became a turning point was how Fox reacted. Fox came at my throat for standing up against censorship.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think they did that? Why do you think they came at you so hard?
Here's the thing. From the inside, yes, there's a narrative. Yes, it is unspoken. But if you accidentally step outside the narrative, if you don't sense what that narrative is and go with it, there will be grave consequences for you. And this story with Dr. Verone is what proves that.
Talk about reaffirming shit, huh, Liz?
That's that's a great question, and the answer is yes. We have used it. I mean, we know that it's a drug that has been politicized up to the wazoo. We've used it. We use it with good success.
I asked that question because I was getting those tips from the viewers, and that was a story, by the way, that Susan and Lee sent me there to cover the COVID treatments at that hospital. I just wasn't supposed to ask that question.
To cease and desist posting about hydroxychloroquine. In my opinion, you failed as a reporter to not know more if you were going to post about hydroxychloroquine.
I can't believe that has to do with this.
Hydroxychloroquine, that you didn't look it up and look at the latest post, the latest research about it.
We posted that shit earlier about Fauci.
I have. There was a major study
Fauci
in the
can
New
go
England Journal
take
of
his ass down
Medicine
with this too.
on July 23rd, before that doctor, went viral. I mean, you didn't refer to any of that.
That or did he he's just not a good scientist, not good at his job?
I was aware of that study, which is why I posted him, because I referenced it in my story about Dr. Emanuel.
She's shutting down a news story that's actually happening, and that's just one of many news stories. Many stories have been shut down over the past almost a year, and I have never to this day advocated for that drug. But Fox said, you've got to stop being a bias. This is the opposite of catering to the audience. The audience was craving answers. And then they're seeing that the news is not covering it at all. Does that build trust in the news? No, that alienates the viewers.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
They are
it's
left
too damning
to just assume the news must be in on some sort of conspiracy because they're not answering our questions
in Call of Duty
on what's really going on.
When Hecker felt she was being targeted for simply trying to report the news, this motivated her to secretly record her supervisors, Vice President and News Director Susan Schiller, and Assistant News Director Lee Meyer.
Everything's going to be under the microscope. You're not posting anything without Susan or I signing off on it.
Industry executives who are the people who hire us and keep us employed. That's the part that needs to make a difference to you. It's not just about the viewers. It's about what our CEO reads. It's about what our GM reads.
It's not just about the viewers. It's about what our CEO reads. It's about what our GM is general manager. What does that mean to you?
That means that corporate values are above the viewer's interests. So in journalism school, we are taught your first loyalty is to the citizen. That right there is saying we don't abide by journalism. We abide by corporate values.
It appears Hecker wasn't alone. And when our undercover journalists caught up with Hecker's Houston Fox 26 crew, they weren't shy about the bias they also felt existed at the network.
Here at Fox 26? Yeah. How come you guys are like the all vaccine all the time channel?
We hire producers, which are the ones that write the show, that are right out of college, about 25 years old. They don't pay them squat. They just regurgitate what they're fed. And so that's how it ends up being that. It's low-hanging fruit.
It's not like this top-down.
No. It's low-hanging fruit. They're doing vaccines across town. Well, let's go get video of that. And at first, it's like, yeah, it's a big deal. When the vaccine first comes out, here 3 months later, it's like, okay, we know vaccines are available.
Right, and they're just pushing it so hard. And you don't hear anything about side effects.
No.
The vaccine seems to be working great for most people.
Seems like a bunch of people are getting fired, not just her.
They are choosing to avoid any negative press about it. They're not going and looking at viewers' legitimate concerns and really looking to get answers. If you want to get vaccinated, that's great. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your personal choice. But to use the venue of news to try to convince you to do something with your life. That was the journalism school's definition of propaganda.
So every commercial now is about COVID. Every other one. Every other. So how's that work? Who buys that space? We're in the time business. CDC?
Yeah. And I think about and this is what it makes. I'm not just going to say Fox 26.
Yeah, no, everybody.
ABC, PRC.
I just watch TV. I just see it all day, every day.
The whole time, it's like, let's be safe.
But how much money are they spending to do that, though? It's a ridiculous amount of money.
They spend the money. They spend the money because they can't. They can't. They are without being in the pocket. They're there.
They got no bottom to that pocket.
They do? Like, so they would pay more to Mercedes.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then the thing about it, you never imagine the clients that fight over positions to get into something.
But they take all the
They're
positions.
like, all right, I'll pay y'all this. It's almost like a gambling. It's a bidding war. So if you
Who wins the bidding war?
The highest motherfucking player.
And who's the highest motherfucker?
Whoever want to take it.
Vaccines are a potential moneymaker for Fox. I mean, that's some advertising. The vaccines, they need to be advertised somewhere. They can be advertised on Fox. Fox gets paid for that. So you've got to, as a viewer, you've got to look at who is advertising on this TV station, and you've got to realize that surely this TV station doesn't want to hurt its advertisers.
When Hecker's Fox 26 colleagues were asked if Fox 26 would ever adjust news coverage based on its advertisers, even they admit, quote, a lot of stuff can happen, unquote.
So could the ad council call you and be like, hey, I want to run all these spots, but I want to make sure your journalists aren't running any anti-vax stories. If that happens, it's above our knowledge. You won't know about it? What about you? It's above me. Would you hear? Do you think you hear about it? Oh, that happened.
We're going to get muted on this.
It goes, there's a hierarchy in the tree. But does stuff like that ever happen? It can. A lot of stuff can happen.
I looked up the ad council, and some of their biggest donors are the vaccine companies. So another one of their biggest donors is Fox Corp. So ad council would be paying Fox after Fox gave a tax deductible donation to ad council. What's particularly concerning about the ad council posts is they don't come off as ads. It's not blatant that it's an ad. And it's actually paid advertising, so it's a little deceptive.
It's not clear that it's an ad.
It's a little deceptive as far as whether it is an ad. The news does need advertisers to exist, but you always hope that if the news had to cover a story about its advertiser, that it would do it unbiasedly. But there is definitely a conflict of interest.
You mentioned about advertisers. Does the news industry need advertisers to exist?
They do. That's their primary source of funding.
Is that compatible with telling the news?
There's always that concern.
It can be
that the corporation might
we don't have
cater
to live
too much to advertising or self-censor to make sure they don't lose any advertisers.
A reasonable viewer might conclude that a local Fox reporter like Ivory might be doing this just for fame and notoriety. When asked, this is what she had to say.
And a lot of people are going to be watching this and speculating, saying things. You'll even have some critics. My question is very simple. Why are you doing this?
It affects the viewers. That's why I'm doing this. The viewers are being deceived by a carefully crafted narrative in some stories. Okay. In some areas, they do fantastic journalism. For some reason, some of these stories have an incredible slant. And if you accidentally step outside it, they try to internally destroy you. As I've witnessed firsthand, that affects the viewers. That does not just affect me.
Are you afraid of doing this?
I haven't had a lot of fear about it. I'm so horrified at what the news business has stooped to. At this point, I want out. of this narrative news telling. I want out of this corruption.
Corruption, that's a strong word.
I want out of the corruption. I want to tell true stories without fear of whether it fits the corporate narrative.
The corporate news
The
paradigm
narrative?
is incompatible with journalism.
Absolutely. It's very sad. It's very sad.
And you're not the only person that feels this way. We have spoken to other people who may or may not do what you're doing, who work for other stations and news operations and news
We may
organizations.
or may not have.
What is your
talked
message
other
to those people?
You need to stand for something or fall for anything. And journalism is so important. If you look at history, it is so important to go after the stories that your viewers are craving answers to keep that loyalty to the viewers and to the truth. And if you allow yourself to be guided through a corporate narrative, to be used as a tool of corporate narrative, corporate news narrative, corporate news propaganda, whatever you want to call it, then you may very well be contributing to the problems that begin to develop in a society that develops a censored press.
Ivory Hecker is ready to pursue a career in independent journalism where she can report the news without fear or favor. If you work in media and see corruption, email us at veritastips@pro.
First off, I gotta say, man, I hope Julian Assange is smiling, because they may have gotten him, but they didn't fucking win.
Yeah, that's some heavy shit. I mean, not even to go into the hydrochloroquine talk, you know what I mean? But just the fact that it's censored. Just the fact that you know, they bring up the news being, you know, they're liable. It's up the chain that it's coming down. You know what I mean? It's not the story itself not having legs. It's that they don't want their general manager to read that story. I mean, it's just her point of view. Obviously, that there should be some stuff coming out of this. I mean, it looks like they got plenty of video.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know, man. The stuff about it coming down from the top of the chain is telling, because, you know, everybody's following orders. They're all doing what the fuck they're told. So if they're saying that we're not pushing these stories because the owner reads this, because the GM reads this, that's, you know, they're talking from fucking experience, or they're talking from something that they were directly fucking told.
Yeah, and following the money is going to lead to some interesting questions here. If what she said is
true. so many fucking people, man. People were fucking killed because of a narrative. You know, just left to die. You know, left without fucking an adequate treatment. You know, so many lives could have been fucking saved. But
I'm gonna step away. I gotta use the washroom. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think you could point the finger right at Fauci too, who came out and said, you know, who spoke against that drug. You know, this was long before the vaccine was even a pipe dream. You know, this stuff could have been out there. You know, probably could have knocked this thing on its ass. You know, 2 months into this fucking pandemic. So, like, which one is it for Anthony Fauci, man? Is it that he was just going with the narrative, you know, pushing his own narrative, pushing, you know, maybe some investments that he's made, or is it, you know, he's just not that good at science, and he just made a huge mistake on this simple drug that was readily available, that was literally told, you know, it's not like it was a secret, or it had to be, you know, invented or found in fucking nature. I really, really would like to hear that question asked, wherever he is. Sharon says, follow the money. I definitely hope it happens, but I don't have any faith in the FBI following that money. I don't know where, who's going to do it.
And if anybody's interested in reading the most recent study on the hydrochloroquine, there have been studies done on it, and the study shows up to a third of patients it's effective in up to a third of patients at the very earliest stages. So we have that posted in the Discord somewhere, I believe, right, Red? Did you post that study? or that article written about that study that sources that study?
Yes, definitely.
Cool. So yeah, if anybody's interested in actually looking into the most recent research, it's out there. All you got to do is join the Discord. Catch up. What else you got? You got anybody in your chat asking questions? Anything going on? Yeah, that's super interesting.
It actually says to take a look at the miscarriage numbers worldwide.
Miscarriages are going up?
I've looked at it a little bit. It certainly seems like it. There's a fact checked on an article that I'm looking at on a USA Today fact checked, and they're trying to fact check. Miscarriages are up 350% in 6 weeks.
Wow.
Sort of blaming, a certain poke or a jab. So the rating is it's not false. It's missing context, which really sort of makes me go, holy shit.
Right? You checking NewsGuard verified sources? Sharon says that ivermectin is supposed to be the new one. I actually heard this. I heard about ivermectin. I looked it up, and it seems like ivermectin up to this point is used to treat head lice. So I heard somebody, some fucking dude jumped in the chat that I was listening to and said ivermectin and mega doses of vitamin C or something like that. It's like, come on, man. If you're worried about it, go get the fucking vaccine. If you're not worried about it, don't be taking fucking head lice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is at this point. Go get vaccinated if it's a problem. If not, I'm not going to get vaccinated because I just choose not to. But I fully suggest that anybody that's interested in getting vaccinated, go get it.
You want to post a link to the what's it called, to the StreamYard in my on my Twitch? Try to get some people in here before I gotta hop off.
Yeah, we could do that. All right, I'm gonna post a link, and then if anybody does join, then we'll talk them through it. I guess a brief no doing this, no doing that, no doing this, and then we're good.
I think Leaky Old Man Butt knows TOS.
I'll post a link.
Damn, that didn't even. Yeah, it didn't pop up. It's just starred.
I think you have to, if you copy and paste it, or it doesn't show up to you.
Yeah, I don't see it starred in my.
I posted it in mine. He's watching both of us at the same time.
Okay.
It looks like.
Yeah, for some reason, StreamYard or Streamlabs won't let me fucking copy and paste links and do that shit. I think I gotta do it on the browser. Try it the other way. OBS it's not cash money sometimes.
I heard that.
All right, I can post it. Should be there.
Yeah, just go ahead and accept that link to StreamYard, and I'll pull you in. If anybody else wants to jump on panel and chat with us, feel free. Click the link, and we'll pull you in, and we'll talk for a little bit.
Yeah.
Red only has a short amount of time though, so.
What did everybody think of that fucking Veritas video, man? Because my mind is going in a few different directions right now.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I mean, I'm super interested in seeing if there's any more video.
Yeah, because for sure. I want to know. I want to get the whole thing, and knowing about fortification, I just want to know if how similar things are at other news stations. and see, really, just keep following the money, as Sharon said, and just see just how far and widespread and how high, you could find these ideas trickling down from, until they stop trickling.
Yeah. Yeah. How high does it go? Does it stay in that Houston branch, or she said there are more defectors? Yeah, it seems like everybody they showed in that video, right, Sharon? The cameramen, those two sales associates. I mean, they were telling the truth. I mean, any news station is mostly, I should say, funded by advertisers. So if a certain company is given hundreds of millions of dollars for ad campaigns, if they're if there are stipulations to their money changing hands, then it could be interesting,
Yeah.
All right, looks like Leaky's in the chat. There you go, Leaky. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right on. What's up, bud?
Oh, not much. Watching your stream off and on for a couple hours, so
appreciate
stuff. We appreciate you coming through, man. We do this. We usually do this one
people
day a
out
week.
there that want to know the truth and are looking for it, and you don't see that much on Twitch. So
yeah,
you got to follow her.
We genuinely want the truth. Like, we don't, even if it's against what we personally believe. You know what I mean? I'd much rather have the truth, because that's the only way to make a real solution. You know what I mean? You can't solve for a problem that's built on a lie.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I have a friend that took the vaccine, and I kept warning her, look, there's some bad side effects, and she really should look into it before she does it. And then she just finally did it, because I guess her family was pressuring her into it, and then now she's like, I wish I wouldn't have done it. She went to the emergency room this morning because she feels like she's going to die, and I haven't heard from her.
Yeah, man. Well, I wish her the best.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like, granted, the side effects only a small minority. If you're that minority, which, by the way, it's like 32%, you're kind of going to be fucked.
Yeah, it's almost like you might have wanted to wait a month after she got vaccinated to tell her, to make sure it's not just nerves or a mental thing.
I didn't. I mean, I just told her she should really wait. That's all I've really told her, and tell her to look into it. I mean, there are some pretty nasty side effects. Well, she's gotten every freaking side effect from the damn thing.
Wow.
And she didn't even look into the side effects. Just everything that she's rattled off to me, it's just like, yeah, those are the side effects I've heard about.
It supposedly rocked Eric Clapton really fucking bad. Like, he lost feeling of his hands and shit. I think he was one of those guys that thought he was going to die.
Shakes, and she gets tremors, and she's like, all of a sudden passes out for no reason.
Yeah, everybody should be better informed about what it is. You know what I mean? These
if you put it in your body, you should know.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there is official documentation out there. It is there to be found.
It's hard to find, though. I will say that Google does a good job of hiding it. Like, my friends look at my Google search results, and then they look at theirs and they're like, dude, how do you have all this information? I'm like, because I force Google to realize that I'm not going to just look at the first page. I'm going to keep digging deep.
Yeah, DuckDuckGo.
So it just gives up at some point, and I get more information than the average person. And you have to force those algorithms, and people don't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing with like YouTube.
I use DuckDuckGo for everything, and I got the NewsGuard on. So when I do find a story, I make sure that it's NewsGuard certified, so that way it's at least given credence on both sides. You know what I mean? NewsGuard isn't exactly a right-wing endorsement company. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have friends that only watch one side of everything, whether it's right or left.
Yeah. I think everybody has people that they know that are like that.
Like, I have a friend that exclusively gets their news from Tim Pool.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
rough.
What?
Yeah, that's rough. Tim Pool is cool. I like it in much the same way that I like Joe Rogan. I really appreciate the guests he has on. You know what I mean? But the person like Tim Pool,
I don't appreciate Tim Pool's guests. Most of his guests I can live without.
Yeah.
The shill is real in both of those guys mentioned.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's what I was telling him. I mean, like, I tell him, dude, do you realize he is the elite that he's talking about half the time? I mean, like, look how much he made last year.
Yeah, they definitely both have fuck you money at this point. They got fuck me money. Like, I could spend enough money to fuck myself over and not really care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a whole different level.
But I was telling him, dude, you should have more than one source. I mean, like, I have friends that watch like Steven Crowder, but refuse to watch like ABC or NBC or Fox. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to get the truth from any of them.
I know Steven Crowder's super sus, but the thing,
I don't think he's super sus. He just gets very
Leaky. Could you mute the stream volume? We're getting an echo here.
I gotta turn it down. Is all. Hold on.
Right on.
Is it echoing through?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. Actually, give me 1 second. I'll get headphones.
Cool.
It's not my surround sound. So.
But yeah, I mean, definitely try to encourage your friends to get more than one news source. There's nothing wrong with taking them in from both fucking sides. You have to. It's the only way to get a glimpse through the fucking, through the veil of what's really going on.
You could feel free to invite them over to our stream and join the Discord too. I mean, we post a lot of stuff, and obviously we're not big Biden fans or this administration fans, but we'll post things that are true on every side of the aisle.
Yeah, I'm not a big Biden fan, but actually not a fan of him at all. As you can tell from my comments.
So you haven't taken any polls recently?
No, I have not. Hold on.
We're trying to figure out who's taking these fucking polls.
Yeah.
Oh, I can actually tell you. Give me 1 second. Let me get these headphones in so I can actually hear you a lot better.
Right on.
All right. Okay, how's that?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah, definitely can hear you now.
Sharon also uses DuckDuckGo. That's what I'm talking about.
Sorry, what was the who's taking the polls? It's very simple. They're actually hitting like New York and LA are the ones that are taking most of the polls.
Well, who's answering their phones? How are they getting these people? Is it email?
Yeah,
is there an email list that we're not on?
People just standing out in the street with clipboards?
They do phone calls. This is what they're doing in like New York and California. They're not even polling the rest of the country. They don't care what the rest of the country thinks.
Yeah, you could definitely tell by the direct democracy push being spewed all over Twitch, especially.
Well, I mean, you have like whenever you made the comment that he's more popular than Trump, I'm like, yeah, I don't believe that for 10 seconds.
Joey most votes?
Yeah, Joey most votes. That's what we call him around here.
Yeah,
Joey most votes.
There's no way he
tell the streams.
There isn't anybody I've talked to that has voted for him.
I actually know a lot of people. I don't know where you're from. We're from Chicago, so
I know a shit ton of people that voted for him. And
I'm from a Republican state, which is right next door to Illinois. So
right on. And I feel like I'm deep within enemy lines. Red's more of a centrist, but
your mayor is fucking whack, dude.
Super whack.
She needs to be thrown in jail.
And the narrative across the country is that Fox News is racist because they put Lori Lightfoot's story out saying that Lori Lightfoot wouldn't take interviews from people of color. They were like, the people on the left that were commenting on it were trying to turn it into a racial thing when it was a racial thing, but it was true. So
it shouldn't really matter. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the thing here. It's like Fox, if it's true, it's news. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That shit's got to get out. That's why I think this Veritas thing is pretty important. And it being aimed at Fox News instead of aimed at
my problem with
CNN
Veritas
again,
is they're not reporting the news. They're going after these news agencies that aren't reporting the news. That's my only problem with them.
They don't break any news stories. They just break corruption stories.
Which is great. It's needed, especially at this time.
Yeah, fucking watchdogs. They're sorely missed. Apparently,
But
everybody was a watchdog fucking last year, 2 years ago.
There's a lot of news that goes untouched because of them.
Yep.
So, I mean, if they actually reported the news, that would be great. But to me, Project Veritas just seems like they're in it for the money at this point. You know what I mean? Because they're just like lawsuit heavy.
Could be, but they're winning every lawsuit.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely winning.
So
I
think
because they're being slandered left and right everywhere.
I think that's more important. I don't necessarily, because all these lawsuits are costing them a ton of fucking bank. You know what I mean? So it might be.
But you're talking about people who are being funded by Zuck, Elon.
Yeah, whoever the fuck does fund them, their motives may be questionable. But when it comes down to Veritas itself, I know a lot of people talk about their edited videos, like obviously you could tell they edited those videos to use them in that short VOD. You know what I mean? Yep. Obvious. It should be obvious.
And they do make it blatantly obvious, but with them, I only look at them whenever I'm looking for what's CNN done now? What's New York Post done now? Because I'm not looking at them for COVID news.
I think
I'm not looking at them for government corruption.
One of the stories they broke on one of the stories they broke actually led to prosecution for voter fraud, though, against a Republican, didn't it?
Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm positive that one of their stories led to actual criminal prosecution, but I'm not positive of if it was for the left or the right. It was
but were they actually prosecuted?
Yeah, they're literally arrested and prosecuted. It's going on now. Like it hasn't been.
I would wait to see if charges actually follow through.
Yeah, it was in Texas too, so I'd imagine.
In Texas, it might actually go through then.
Right, exactly. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah, Texas is like in its own little biosphere.
We'll see for how long, because it's being invaded.
Sharon says Project Veritas reminds her of the old 60 Minute stings.
Yeah, that's kind of I can see that.
I appreciate it. I mean, how else would that newscaster have told us that story? You know what I mean? The one that just happened. How else could that have? How could that have been facilitated with Assange?
Jack Sobek.
So, have you guys been following the Arizona ballot recounting?
Like at a distance. I've been hearing a lot of fucking stories lately.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about in your chat. Like, we're not. Like, you can't talk about that crap, and I'm like, that's absolutely forced.
Yeah, no, it's a fortification.
We've gotten warnings on most of our media pages so far about subject matter, so we try to walk the line, but we still try to make our.
That's why I'm not coming out and saying it.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I heard there was a report yesterday that like 250,000 ballots are missing. But at the same time, like there was a couple of weeks ago where they said a whole database was missing, and then they found it the next day. 2
databases actually.
Yeah. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty much just sitting back waiting for it to hit the fan. I'm waiting for the actual conclusion, the paper to come out. Yeah. I don't want to get too deep into it because we already know that it's not going to be accepted no matter what the fuck they find. But I want to hear
exactly.
Yeah, I want to hear.
Yeah. And they're the only ones that are actually going after it, which is mind-boggling.
I think another state just passed. I think another state filed the paperwork to start it.
How many months after?
Yeah, I mean a year.
How much evidence has been destroyed since then?
Yeah.
I mean, just lost. A year's a long time. Even if it's not even implying nefariousness. You know what I mean? That there's going to be problems a year later, no matter what.
A lot.
Well, I mean, look at just Arizona
going to Wuhan a year later.
Yeah,
Arizona has lost. What is it, like 2.7 million votes? That's freaking insane.
Yeah.
Sharon says, "I'm glad she did it." Me too, Sharon. I'm glad she came out and fucking actually put her neck on the line. We'll see if that's what it is. You know what I mean? 6 months from now, we might come up with a different story. You never know with these things. We really try not to jump to conclusions about things that happen like that. We'll paint a picture, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're doing it one brush stroke at a time and hoping that it turns out okay.
Right. We think we know what the picture is going to be, but it's still yet to be painted. You know what I mean? It's color by numbers, but some people paint over the lines.
And then come back over and try to rework it too at the same time.
Right, exactly.
So you never know how it's going to end up.
Right. Yeah.
And at this point, I think that we're at a point with our nation where, like, New York and California are so disconnected from the rest of the country that they can't see what everybody else is seeing. I think most of the country is just looking at everything that's happened over the last, 6 months, going, what the hell is going on in Washington?
Yeah, 2022 is coming up quick, so I hope.
Oh yeah,
I hope a lot of people see it.
I think that 2022 is going to be a very screwed up year. I think a lot of congressmen, a lot of senators, governor, it's going to flip everywhere.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
People are just going to be voting people out, which is what they need to. By the way, I put a link in your Discord. You guys are free to use it for your channel. By the way, yeah, it's a song I wrote.
Oh, right on. Yeah, we'll check it out.
It's called Cost of Freedom. It's about fighting back against corruption and stuff like that. So you might like it.
Good shit. Yeah, we'll definitely check it out, man.
Yeah, you guys are DMC free. I don't copyright strike. Anybody can use it. Unless I don't like them.
Right on. Yeah, my girlfriend's building a playlist.
If I don't like you, I don't care if you're using it because I'm probably not paying attention to you anyway. So, but right. You guys are more than happy to use it. I like your channel. I think it's great. It'd be a good intro to your channel.
Fuck yeah, dude. We appreciate it. We'll definitely check it out. Maybe we'll use it for one of our skits that we talk about all the time.
Yeah, whenever you were talking about the chick booty bouncing.
Yeah.
I was. That's what made me think of that and put that in because I'm like, oh my god, that song would actually be perfect for that.
Yeah, that's dope. I'm horrible with the computer, but maybe Red could throw something together if it fits. But I'm sure we could use it for something.
Yeah. Yeah. Feel free. It's totally use it however you want. I know finding copyright-free music is hard to do.
Yeah.
And for channels that are out there looking for the truth, man, my music's always free to them. So
thank you.
Feel free to use it.
Okay. Sharon's in the chat. She says she's looking forward to it as well.
Okay. Well, it's in their Discord, by the way. And if you want to use it, you can too. I don't care.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I do got to cut it short. I got to take off, everybody.
All right. Well, it was nice talking to you.
Right on, Leaky. We generally do the show that we do podcast episodes like once a week, but we're talking about doing it a little bit more. Maybe adding another day, just doing panels where we pull people on and talk to people and interview people and shit like that. So.
Oh, nice.
We appreciate you coming through. Just stay up to date through the Discord.
Yeah.
Anybody else out there that's watching, feel free to join the Discord. I'll throw another link up in the chat here, and maybe we'll work something out for coming up here soon.
All right. That sounds good.
We definitely appreciate you coming through, man. Good talking to you.
Yeah, good talking to you guys. Good listening to you guys all day, too.
Cool. Right on, man.
It's good to see people out there looking at all the news and being broad with your scope. That's rare. So,
right on, man.
Definitely appreciate that, man.
Oh, that was the StreamYard link. My bad.
If you guys had bits up, dude, I would have been tipping the whole time.
We're working on it. We're pretty new to Twitch.
I got like 200,000 bits sitting on my account. I'm like, they have no bits. What the fuck?
Well, feel free to share our stream. I mean, we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on iHeartRadio. Anybody out there, the best way to spread the word is to share it. And
of course.
Maybe one day we could afford to put some money into the podcast and go on tour or something and actually meet some people.
Oh, that'd be freaking awesome. But yeah, freaking love your channel.
Right on, man. Well, we hope to see you back next time. We appreciate you coming through this.
I have alerts set, so
Good stuff.
I'll let you in your podcast. You can kick me out if you want.
Nah, I wouldn't do that, man. You can hang out for the close here.
Okay, go ahead. Close your podcast out. I'll mute.
Well, we appreciated everybody tuning in. We're happy to not be black bagged once again. What's this, like 35 weeks in a row going strong?
Probably more weeks than that, but because we've definitely gone a few stretches with that one. But yeah, 35 episodes and at least one more.
Yep.
Nice long ass episode too. And if I didn't have to take off, we definitely would have kept this thing running all night.
Right on. Yeah, maybe we'll try something later on this week if you got some time, Red.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Thursday works.
We'll talk about it in the Discord if anybody has any ideas or any suggestions how to make it better, how to further entertain. We're down. Throw it up in the suggestions. Get engaged on the Discord. We are actually active. Red and myself are actually in the Discord every day. So if you want to tell us about something, you want to show us a story that maybe we will cover on the live, the next time we go live, feel free. That's the place.
Everybody have a good week. Stay positive. We are Chords V Plugs.
We'll catch you next time.